Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tenax Proving Grounds. We're back with our second tournament. It's already been 2 weeks from the first one, but really excited to be back with you today. We're back with the semi-finals, Serein versus Mercy. I'm going to be your host today, Zach, and joining me is Emmy. Emmy, how are you doing? It's our first time
Hello,
casting
Zach.
together now. Yeah.
Yes, I'm so excited. And I'm especially excited because I had the pleasure of casting Team Mercy in the last or first Tenax Proving Grounds. And from what we've seen, they are a very potent team, obviously the runner-up. And having them face Team Serene is going to be so good. The sets we're having today are going to be an absolute blast too. What are we expecting to see?
So we're starting off with Nurse on CT1. Let's go to the picks and bans screen actually, because it'll show everything on there for everyone to see. We have Nurse on CT1 starting us out, and that is Serein to pick who's going to be playing Killer first. And then for the second pick, we have a Dark Lord on Wretched Shop, which is Mercy's territory. And I do know them to be very, very strong on that killer. Merched, their killer pick, their killer player is very, very strong. He did some very strong results last time. And then a Billy tiebreaker, but it doesn't look like the map showing, but it is going to be on Blood Lodge. But yeah, those are our sets for this matchup, and then you can see there grayed out in the bottom are each team's bans. Of course, we changed the picks and bans process a little bit to allow for some bans before the first picks, because before it was just go straight to picking, but then you realize that people could just pick their specialty killer, and it's honestly, it wasn't great, but we changed it, so they've been able to do research, bit of scouting, get some target bands in there. But yeah, Nurse, a very, very classic set. I'm pretty sure every comp player knows it all too well. And I'm excited to see that to start us out at me.
Oh, for sure. Nurse is one of my favorite sets. I'm a big fan of S tiers. Dracula as well, not quite S tier, more in the A tier category. And then a Billy tiebreaker is just wonderful.
It's
A rich
chaos.
dish for all the comp connoisseurs today.
Yeah, it
But
is
yeah,
absolutely. I'm a massive fan of Dark Lord sets, like hugely, like a huge fan.
yes,
He kind of rose to popularity as soon as he came out. Like comp players took like a massive liking to him, and yeah, ever since I think he's been as popular as Nurse in some cases. But
he's
yeah,
also he's also made an appearance on a couple of maps. I think originally he was played on Yamaoka 2 in a couple of family residence too in a couple of leagues, and
oh
then we
yeah, I
settled
remember
on
that.
on
Yeah,
Ratchet Shop, which I always find surprising because Ratchet Shop is the map that Doctor gets played on, and Doctor versus Dark Lord. It's always a fun comparison to me because obviously Dark Lord has way better map traversal and also access to some really strong gen regression parks in our balancing. So yeah, it's not uncommon to see a 4K in a Dark Lord set. It's not uncommon to see a
Mhm.
4K in a Nurse set.
Yeah. I mean, Nurse and I mean they're both different sets. I mean, in terms of Nurse sets, you're looking at death positions, right? It's about
Yes.
rotations, trying to make sure you can stealth, get yourselves in the right positions, and also break that 3 gen that the Nurse will try to hold. But the key thing about the death positions is that if you're dying too far into the map, you let her get that hook position on you, where she is in blink range of you and the gens around her too. So it's like absolute nightmare. It's nice to see like players coordinate and try and position themselves correctly in the map. That's something that these players will know and they will have practiced hundreds of times, I'm sure. So I think it's gonna be a very competitive set. Even if it is Serein's pick, that is something that I still think we will see like quite a competitive match on.
Yes.
And you have Dark Lord, which is he's a very strong killer, especially in the right hands. But then you kind of have this thing where it's hard for him to come back in some situations where he takes too long to get his first elimination. So when that first tunnel out doesn't come in, you are then faced with a situation where he is going to struggle. He's very good strong in chase, especially if you use his different forms properly, like his Hellfire, Wolf, and Bat form. But yeah, he has like he does still have some weaknesses. when it comes to a 4v1. So yeah, he does suffer. But both of these sets are they're different, they're exciting, and we've got a Billy set to top it off as well, if we even get there.
Yeah, if we get there.
Mm.
Obviously, again, Billy S tier killer with lots of different approaches. You can go for the slack heavy playstyle. We still have Pain Resonance allowed on Billy, I'm pretty sure. Which
No, I
instant
changed
we
that. That is
don't.
no,
So we're
not
gonna have a
anymore. Not
meta
anymore. I
breakup.
changed that. No, we had like so I did the balancing. The balancing was done like relatively quickly. But player feedback and just making changes has essentially been the focus kind of as
Yeah.
we've gone through the tournament. But yeah, so Pain Resonance is no longer allowed on tier 1 killers. And then we also have Blood Rush no longer allowed. We don't want to talk about it. No. We make changes. We make improvements as we go
Yeah.
along. That's what we do here. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
definitely
But
was incentivizing the Billy to hook in the potential tiebreaker. But maybe this time we will see more of a slacking approach if we get there. Now, you mentioned the Dark Lord sometimes struggling to get that fast elimination. What Dark Lord is really good at is preventing hook trades by just holding the Hellfire. So that is something the survivors have to play around. And as you mentioned, sometimes the tunnel out manages to disappear, and that is when the Dark Lord really struggles.
yeah, because it's like he doesn't really have so let's say a nurse blink to catch up to them fast. But yeah, the like you said, the hook trading is definitely a point of strength for him preventing that. We should talk about. I mean, we should mention that there is another semi-finals going on alongside this in a different match. It's going to be Eclipse versus Monkeys. Monkeys are actually also a returning team. They are a pug. Actually, they're a pug team formed of a pretty strong roster. Actually, they've got Setries captain. They've got Ethi, Tech as well, who is a player for Orison. So a nice mix. They did have Spitz.
Yeah,
Yesterday they had Spitz on their roster. Today I don't think he's playing. So I don't know. Like he's obviously a very strong player.
he wasn't good enough for the main roster, so they
No,
went with
definitely not.
the main player this
No.
time.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't available, so he couldn't play.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice to see like him play in some of the games yesterday too. But yeah, Eclipse of one of especially won all their games coming through, so they've got some forward momentum. Going into the semi-finals. But yeah, I think that's going to be quite an evenly matched semi-finals. So I'm excited to see how that one plans out afterwards. But that's going on alongside, so we should be
Yes.
going into our matches anytime now. But yeah, we have that semi-finals, and then what will happen is after this semi-finals match, we'll be going into our bronze match. But the bronze match takes a little bit of setup, so there's gonna be a short break whilst we set that up, and we'll go straight into the gameplay. And whilst that bronze finals match, the bronze match is going on, the finals will be getting set up in the background. So hopefully everything comes into place, and then we go into the finals afterwards. But yeah, it's a little bit different format. I think that most people are used to seeing. But yeah, it's been great. We're here for our second tournament. First one went great, minus a few stream hiccups. But as you can see, we've made some improvements with the intermission music
Absolutely.
made by our in-house music producer, and also the clips of last tournament. But yeah, we are actually loading into the game, which is good.
So what is really important for our survivor team is to hide the right survivors. Speaking of right survivor, that being the deliverance player, and try to get also the right survivors in chase. Those are the ones that have anti-tunnel perks, that are able to make it to a good death spot and prevent the nurse from getting that dangerous mid-map hook.
Yeah, that's
Because
what
as always, you want to split the map depending on corrupt intervention, assuming that is in play. Which of course it is.
it is. Corrupted Religion is in play as we transition into the gameplay, and we have Rats on. So Rats is a player I'm sure you're all familiar with from Team Night Owls previously. He's now a player for Hello, everyone. So, word from the producer is that you guys can hear us now. I promise we've been yapping the whole time. Until,
Yes.
we have been yapping. We were just casting the game anyway to just warm up. But
Wait,
that
so
is a
the dead
failed dead
heart.
hard. Failed it dead
Really
hard.
well done by Rats. He was expecting it.
Yeah, baits it out quite nicely. But yeah, it's been a bit of a chaotic game. The lost the tunnel out, so it's gonna give the Mercy Survivors a chance to get that 4th gen done, potentially take us to a 4K1, which is going to really help the WinCon for their next killer, potentially give them a tie so that we do go through to that timer condition.
Yes.
Just letting you know, because I'm in the future, the audio will be back. But at this point in time, yes, I'm letting you guys know. But yeah, this has been it's thrown us off a little bit, but this has been a really good recovery from the Survivors of Mercy, especially when Rats had such a strong start.
Yes, it was looking really bad with 1 survivor dead and 4 gens remaining. That is
Yeah.
not the spot you want to be in, but 4K1 is what these survivors are aiming for when they previously were scrambling to get that 4K2 somehow. But yeah, this can be doable. It's still hard. The 3v1 against nurse oftentimes just consists of the nurse having a slug or a hook, and the other 2 survivors struggling to pick each other up, to reset, to try and somehow get some of that gen progression in against those really strong gen regression pogs.
Yeah, I did just take a little peek at the survivors, and it does not seem like they have too much going on the map for them at the minute. I'm not too sure what gen it is, the main one that they're working on. I think it might have been the one that Ilo is rotating from, but yeah, the unhook comes through now, and we've got a chase onto Tillian in the corner of the map. That is going to be a quick chase for Rats. A hook right here as well, so he can get right back to whatever gen they're trying to work on if they're not resetting, which it looks like they were.
And this is the elimination on Tillian, which means this is a 1v2, which means it's looking real bad for the survivor team. Now 4K1 win condition becomes way less feasible, and 4K1 is doable. 4K3, which would be needed for the Mercy killer, that is very hard to achieve. You would have to have an insane game. And honestly, this has kind of been an insane game by Rats. Just the early finds coming through, giving them all the pressure they needed. This is gonna be a slow burn for the remainder of this game. Rats is gonna try his hardest not to have more gens get popped, while these survivors will try to carefully get any gen progress they can, but it is not expected for 1 more gen to get completed here.
It looks like we have merged, stealthing off onto that first gen that Rats was at. And Ilo doing the same, but Rats is smelling it a little bit. He's going to go back into the side of the map, and yeah, merged was on that gen not too long ago, so could be found here.
Oh.
Yes, he does get found. This merge going to be found right now. And that's going to be pretty key for Rats. Gets that injury in. Nice, really precise blinks there from Rats. Now we're going to be running it into this bottom left corner of the map near main. And whilst
one
this
thing
chase
that is
going
important is that one generator has reached the maximum regression numbers, but Merch goes down in the corner, which is a great death spot, but we needed that death spot earlier.
Yeah, it was impressive that he made it down to the... I mean, he was healthy, right? So he took that first injury to get the distance and had the sprint burst as well to get even further. But now we're looking to find our first survivor, who looks like they're rotating for the unhook right behind main. I got a... And now another thing I should mention is, like, actually in the game itself, so we have all POVs available to us as casters, but you guys will, for the most part, will have the killer POV. So we'll be using the survivor POVs as information for you to give you a bit of a lowdown on what's going on across the map. The resurgence coming through onto merged. Gonna be a quick heal. We have some scratch marks, so can we find these? that is the trial concluded, and we're going to be concluding that 4K2 with the end-game death. But anyway, I guess I should talk about what went wrong there, because it did look like it was 4K3 territory for a bit, but I can't remember too much how fast they got that third gen done. But yeah, Rats did so well to hold on to that, considering that he had like a little loss of pressure towards the sort of end of that game.
Yes. I think there was a bit of indecisiveness uh, with Xylion having a really good chase after the unhook. I think that chase really carried the survivor side, because had Rats not been forced to drop the chase, the result could have definitely been, yeah, a 4K3 potentially. But yeah, good recovery from the survivors, considering the spot they have been put into. And again, on Killer, definitely a result you can be very happy with. So but yeah, that
I
is
think
the sorry.
I was gonna say my Discord crashed there for a second. I didn't hear any of what you said, but I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to go to a short intermission while we set up that next lobby. To see how the Killer of Mercy performs on Nurse 4K3 WinCon, 4K2 Tycon with the timer, and we will be back with you very shortly. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Nurse set. We now have Mercy killing against the survivors of Serein. And just a bit of housekeeping. We have a few issues with Discord at the minute. It seems to be disconnecting for our producer every 3 or so minutes. So there might be caster checkpoints where we just switch to no mic gameplay. But in order to fix it, the producer needs to restart his Discord. So if you do get periods of silence, just know that we will basically constantly going to be working on it as the trial goes on. But for now, we have our first chase onto Zero at main building, going to be found pretty early on, and that is 2 sets in a row where we found our survivor quite early on into the trial. No stealthing coming in, but that is a whiff onto Zero, and then they're going to be living to see another day. And it looks like Merst isn't interested in chasing that area.
Yes, Merged wants to interrupt the gens that are outside of the corrupt intervention, so that are available for the survivors to work on. Sees some scratch marks on the edge map, and we're also seeing the exact same build. Firecracker coming through, dodging preventing the second blink. Now freeze 1 HP in chase. Again in the corrupt intervention area, but this time Merged is probably gonna commit. Gets the injury onto Freeze. Freeze is taking the chase to the edge map. Very good macro play by Serein for now. Goes down, that is to be expected, but this is a much more coordinated death spot for the survivors than we saw in the first trial, and Merged is gonna get the first hook onto Freeze right now.
Absolutely, first hook stage coming through. Agendas pop in answer to that first chase, and I'll be honest, in terms of Nurse average, you do usually see quicker downs. Look at that, 2 gens popping, absolutely gen rushing, and I'm pretty sure Mersh will know that, probably knows that there can't be too much more progression than that, right? Surely.
Yes. I was expecting that 1 gen that's popping to be a double. I did not expect 2 gens to pop. Merged sees Ruts on the Sable, which I'm a big fan of, but decides to keep it on the top side, look to hold this 3 gen around the main building, and finds Chase onto Zero, taking a quick tag. Will probably just return to his hook now, though.
I think the thing is,
catch a glimpse of the survivor rotating there.
What's important to note is that if they complete 4 gens, that they win, right? So that means that they can effectively ignore that sort of top side 3 gen. We do have
that is
this
a great
one.
call.
We do have this one here. There's no in the corner. So yeah, this like typical 3 gen setup. They're gonna have to double that probably mid map gen potentially to try and just sort of secure the split a little bit. But yeah, it looks like the call of Brian is gonna proc on that mid map gen, and yeah, if they get that gen done, then it could spell trouble for Mercy's killer. And that's Rats trying to sprint burst his way to a flashlight save / pallet save. And that is something that also Rats is known for, his 99ing of sprint burst, his skill with that perk is something that he's pretty infamous for. But this is going to be a top mid hook, unfortunately. So again, death position a little bit further up the map. It's going to give Merch time to actually get that more advantageous position for his second down.
Nice blink. And even though the pallet save did not quite work out, it bought so much time for the survivors. We're seeing the next gen popping right now in check, and the tie condition is already met for the survivors. This is looking really good. Just buying time, taking the down under the pallet, forcing our killer to hesitate, to not get the pickup immediately. This is a very methodical game played by the survivor side. And even if Freeze gets secured at this hook, it does not really matter if you just crank out 1 more gen.
Yeah, I imagine any progress they can get, if they've rotated past the map and are in that sort of top sides, already working on that gen, they could potentially let Freeze die. I mean, I don't know how much progression quite that they have. But Merch is going to be able to hold on to this. Are they going to... It looks like they want to trade, but yeah, Merch is going to need to make sure that Freeze does die here. That's the body block coming through. Oh, it's going to stop it, but
close. It's not a trade. Oh,
not even a trade. No, Freeze needs to last here, basically. And it looks like Rat is about to pop the 4th gen.
The vaulting nurse coming through. This is wild stuff we're seeing from Merged here.
That is, and that is going to be the 4th gen popping, and that's just going to be a speed run record time win for Serein.
My survivors are always gen rushing me. This is toxic behavior. No, really well played by the survivors. They have the gameplay against Nurse down to a T. Perfect death spot, perfect survivor in chase. Elimination comes through after the win condition has already been met. Beautiful textbook, really. Sadly, Merged was not able to keep up, but we've got to remember this was Team Serene's pick,
It was.
so they are well, not necessarily expected to win, but definitely expected to be very proficient in this matchup, and they definitely showed that they know the Nurse matchup pretty well.
Exactly. I was surprised not to see a nurse ban come through, I guess. I mean, there was the spirit ban, which targets another one of their players, one of their killer co-captains. But yeah, it looks like they led a pretty strong set in the hands of Serein, and they're not gonna let the opportunity pass them up. But yeah, they've managed to get the good split for the last gen. Don't know quite how close it is. It doesn't seem like it is close, no. But yeah, whether Merch can hold on to this 4K1, still be a good result going into the next match, even if it is a loss. It's gonna feel good for the survivors of Serein to get outs as well.
Yes,
But
getting out against the Nerds, always very nice. Feel good moment, and yeah, you gotta remember this is not a best of one like in the qualifiers and quarterfinals. This is a best of two with a tiebreaker, so you wanna always have a good mental play your best, and really show that you're here to play.
indeed, we see Rats over here, stealthing by this God Rock. Probably has that sprint burst to use. Yeah, it looks like he's just used it. I don't know how many front sables we've seen in our lifetime, but this might be under 5.
I'm very excited.
Of course, there's a sable meme, right?
Yes, Sable is my girl, and if I'm seeing a Sable on your comp team, I'm rooting for your team. Especially if you trust the Sable player with the deliverance. That just shows character, you know? This Sable can do it.
Yes, indeed. Merch on his way back to that gen, smelling that maybe it was about to pop, and you can hear how close it is. Do we maybe get a pop? Yeah, kick on here for Eruption of Call of Brine, and looks like Zero is
Look at that.
plot twisting over there, which is a genius move, because now Merch is going to have to pick this. Otherwise, that is going to be a fully recovered survivor. Plot twist is kind of developed in the comp scene. It used to, no one really kind of saw the advantage with it, but it's one of these perks that actually forces a killer decision, which I always really like the kind of creative use of it. I've also seen it in combination with perks like DS and things as well. It's like, it's definitely like, it's a cool thing to see, you know, when they do that. And even despite that, actually, it managed to get the top mid hook. That must have been a very close wiggle.
Yes, it was 99%. I was on the spectator point of view of the survivor. It was so close. But yeah, the
calculated position and RNG.
Nice juke by Haze. Still gets tagged by the second blink. But Merch cannot commit to these chases on top side because we're having the bot mid gen being pressured as well as the top left gen on 10. So our Nurse is just being dragged around the map, and even though the Nurse is great in chase, she is not amazing at map mobility, and this is what our survivors are abusing right now. Rats does go down on the active gen, getting slugged though, while our other survivors are resetting. Let's see if Merch can find them.
We've got Unbreakable onto
coming through.
Yeah, but he does catch the injured Haze. This could be an opportunity to maybe bring home that 4K1. It depends where Zero is. Of course, Rats is going to be able to help himself with Unbreakable. I'm not sure if he's used it yet this trial. Maybe he has. No, the pickup is coming through, so maybe he has used it or just wanted to save it. I'm not too sure, but first bit of momentum in this 3v1 for Merched. Now potentially bringing home the 4K1. But yes, it is. Unfortunately, like, I think 3v1 for nurses do kind of drag out sometimes, so we might be here for a little while longer.
It's all about slugging and getting the tiniest advantages, and only hooking if you're really able to hook, you know? You cannot hook the deliverance player, you can't risk that. You cannot risk a cheeky gen getting done. And for the survivors, it's all about, yeah, picking each other up, trying to get that reset in. So it does tend to drag out. Okay. Gets the down onto rats. Again, great death spot in the edge map. Now, one perk I'm kind of missing in these nurse sets is self-care. Believe it or not, it's actually quite the popular perk in this set because it just allows one of your survivors to stay healthy and not to have to deal with this being injured, risky reset situation. Another reset, pick up onto rats coming through. Merged sees it. And this is all about juggling the survivors, keeping track of who is actually able to work a gen right now. Great sprint burst by rats, like you mentioned, but unfortunately Merged reads it, gets the down again.
Yeah, the problem is when you have that first survivor down, Merch sets his eyes upon the gens, and they've got some injuries, so it's such a snowball opportunity for him. So they have to rotate or get into some form of safety whenever a survivor dies, and they are dying in the right spots, to be honest. And that is a pickup coming through from Hayes as well, while Zero is in chase. So splitting the map, trying to get this killer pulled across to both sides.
Oh,
and that is another
God,
plot
twist
twist
coming again. Coming through again, allowing the team to get a full reset now. Zero dies on the bot side, but that gen was already getting mighty crunchy. So the regression events really adding up with that eruption. You can see the entity spikes on the generator. Let's see if Merch is still able to kick it. No, not able to kick the gen anymore, which means slowly but surely the time is running out for the nurse. Let's
Absolutely.
see if we can get those outs eventually.
Just a matter of time. Yeah, nice, masterfully dodging that. He makes perfect use out of that perk every single time. It's such a rat's perk. I feel like Sprint Burst, he's got to be one of the best Sprint Burst users I've ever seen, at least in the comp scene. Just perfect usage every single time. Always has it ready, always has it 99. And I'm not sure how many times he's made Merch whiff or miss or lose distance, but it's been a few times now. We have
it's
Zero.
such a powerful perk if used
Yeah.
correctly, and we're seeing it used to perfection here. Baiting a bit of chase on the hill potentially.
Yeah, it's kind of funny thought. I mean, you know, we're struggling for things to talk about when we're talking about Sprint Burst as a perk. We will eventually get to the end of this game. Playing it slow, I mean, it is the sort of name of the game. They got to this stage of the game so fast, and now it sort of the slow game happens. Oh, another plot twist, and that's gonna be Zero dead if he wants to pick. But I do wonder where this fourth survivor is. Yeah, working the gen off in the distance, but we've got 2 slugs now. This is going to be, I believe, the death onto Zero. But the DS coming through. Didn't actually spot that one, to be honest. No, didn't spot that.
Yeah, we did call this game early, but this is still methodical gameplay through and through by the survivors. Zero saving the life, saving the DS, forcing the nurse to waste as much time as possible with the plot twist, now dying inside basement. Meanwhile, Rats is still on the ground, which means the last gen might be popping now. And there it goes.
There's indeed potentially a 4K0. The pickup's going to come through so they can split this map. I do wonder if they will, if they can get some outs, it's going to feel pretty good for them, I believe. But yeah, Rat's going to stealth off to the side of the map, and we have Merch now down, seeing the scratch marks of Hayes right there. On the top side, tries to double back in, expecting the second blink, but Merch is going to fatigue there quite nicely. Good precision blink, reading the pathing well on that tree. And yeah, there's going to be Hayes dead in the corner of the map, and now it's just a case of finding that little rat off in the distance. But yeah, I do wonder by now if that gate has been opened. It is about half. Yeah, it doesn't look like he makes it.
Oh,
You see the red light, but it's only one light, so that means it's only just been started practically. So yeah, it looks like we will secure a 4K for Mercy, which you know, given the battle that Merch has had, I think he deserves a 4K. But yeah, the Serein Survivor is playing an absolute textbook game of 3v1 Nurse. And it was down to those regression events just dying. I mean, it wasn't even on the gen that the regression events ran out on, but
It did make
okay.
the nurse overextend to that bot side a bit, knowing, hey, I cannot pressure this gen with my regression anymore. I do need to pressure it with my presence. And again, just great death spots. But yeah, I'm sure we will see some really exciting Dark Lord gameplay though. It's gonna be merged staying on the killer side, and with Dark Lord also being their pick. I'm expecting a great game. This is far from over.
Here we are gonna
Merged realizes, hey, this is kind of leading to nothing.
Yes,
Gonna
it's
get
kind
the
of
hook.
pointless, isn't it? Really. Let's move on, shall we? But yeah, gonna hook that. He's there, and oh, Rats is actually here for the the rescue. It looks like they want to conserve as many stages as possible. I guess they're just playing for pride at this point.
They're locked in.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, they absolutely are. But yeah, Dark Lord, I'm really excited for. To be honest, it's one of the it's growing on me as one of my favorite comp sets. I think it's because you can get the dead hard bait. Merch did it. I think it was someone did it to Rat's last game.
Yes.
Yeah, Rat's DH
He
baited
waited out
someone.
Talline's dead
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
Do you wanna know something funny?
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
Rats activated Deliverance after all gens have been popped. So Rats now has Deliverance active, ready to get hooked. Let's
Wait,
see if that's gonna come into play.
we have a Delhi endgame. This is the
It
longest
has
one
not
I've
been
ever seen.
active before Haze's unhook, just in endgame. It's quite funny to me.
Yeah, pretty long back and forth, but neither side wanting to let up. It's almost like a statement right now. They're like, well, I mean, if you wanted to start that game, we will too.
Yes,
No
and
matter
I
what,
respect
but-
it. It's the competitive spirit. The teams are here to show what they've got, to show the best they can do. And while this is decided, it's still like you want to have the best result possible. You got to get that win con.
Should be enough for Rats to get out, actually. I think. Yeah, he's at the other gate right now. It looks like Rats is going to escape, and he's going to have the last laugh as this chart comes to a close. The gate's going to open, and he's just leaving. He's not interested. But yeah, that's Rats leaving, and now Hayes is somewhere, maybe called for Hatch. No, I don't actually remember where he was downed. It's been so long, but that is going to be.
Trying to just crawl into the killer, saying,
Yeah,
"Here I am. Let's get this over with."
I've forgotten how many stages were on Rats, to be honest. I have no idea. So
Rats was the fresh hook. Sable, the fresh hook, made it out. I'm so proud right now. As a Sable main myself, this is beautiful to see.
yeah.
Hayes giving us the nodders. He's on the hatch. That was a fun watch. Really great Survivor gameplay. And Merch not a slouch on the nurse. This was a great watch.
It was. Took us a while to get there, but I think nurses are always fun because they can just be either like 0 to 100 fast, or you get to like really slow methodical games, and it's actually where like the team play comes in. So I think it's why it's one of those sets that's just really enjoyable to play in general. But yeah, that's going to conclude the nurse set, which Serein are going to be taking as their pick. And we're going to throw it over to a quick intermission whilst we set up that Dark Lord set. It's going to be the same lobby. It's going to be merged. The specialist Dark Lord player on that pick on the Wretched Shop. And we'll be back with you very shortly.
See you in just a bit. Hello everyone, we are back on the Ratchet Shop with the Dark Lord set. We still have merged on Killer for Team Mercy versus the Survivor side of Team Serein, and immediately sees the scratch marks of a Survivor here. This is such an early find. Let's see, it is Rats getting a free tap quite early. Unfortunately running into a wall a tiny bit. The pallet comes down. This is playable in wolf form. Nice dodge by Rats. Extends the chase. But is there much more juking to be done here? Makes it to the pallet. Hellfire coming through. Nice dodge again. But Rats does go down here. Pretty solid first chase by Merged. Able to get the down quickly. And we might be seeing a missed skill check in the distance.
Yeah, didn't they fix those RNG skill checks? I have no idea. Maybe they came back for a second, or just it was missed. I don't know. But I mean, Rats Watch could have gone down a lot sooner there. You hear a scream of Haze in the distance with that pain res. And yeah, this is the strength of merch that we were at least aware of coming into this. Very proficient on the killer, but I think Rats more so getting caught out of position too, which kind of led to that. But now chase onto freeze. We are chasing around the hook, and looks like someone is there for the unhook, but merch spots it out. And this is a bit of downtime for the survivors, so not getting as much progress as maybe they want. We do know Haze is someone working on that first gen, but right now, merch has information on 2 survivors, and those 2 survivors not being one of the ones on hook. So
yeah,
really good information early game.
Also really tight 4-gen on the top side, and Rats hooked right inside of it. So this is a position that Merged should be very comfortable with. Even a 5th gen within reach on that broken bus. And threatening with the Hellfire, daring the survivors to come treat. You can get this unhook for free. No, you can't, because Merged is here securing second stage.
Absolutely, and that is something typical that you see when you do get those early downs. Even with even if it's a type 4 gen, you do quite often see an early camp out for that second stage, and you get that early elimination. I'm sure Merch is going to be TPing away with bat forms.
Nice hit.
As soon as that unhook comes through, and yeah, nice Hellfire coming in. It's going to be always greeting the pallet. Merch not able to quite get that, and he's smelling the unhook, and it comes through. The timing onto that unhook is perfect, and now Rats is going to be facing elimination, and you can hear the Sable screaming in pain. Does he have enough distance to make that window for what he does? And now we're going to be playing this pallet gym. Relatively safe task to use. Doesn't get a chance to use the Hellfire, and Rats now trying to make it to safety. Stays at the window.
Using the Lapis Lazuli, breaks the pallet from the right side, catching Rats off guard, and this should be... Whoa. Great stun coming through by Rats, extending this chase, and really every second counts here.
They broke one of those gens in the 3-gen, but what a Hellfire across the tile. I didn't even realize he could go that far. But...
Which is crazy. These Hellfires are hitting every single time. It's beautiful to watch.
Yeah, you can tell he knows, he's practiced, he knows what you can hit over, the Hellfire, where they hit, but look at that. They've managed to break one of those gens in that 4-gen, so a little bit of a comeback in terms of pressure, but that's a Survivor dead at 2 gens left. And it's all about how fast we get this next chase, to be honest. We've got the Poggers the Weasel, and who is that? I didn't quite spot that just then.
It was Zero. Finds the chase immediately, zones away from the pallet, and gets a free entry. It's just that easy.
It is. Is he going to commit to that chase, though? No, maybe he wants to get some pop value onto one of these gens. Knowing that they're trying to get the gen split gone. Yeah, look, we see Haze pre-running from that gen. And there's not much progress on these 2 gens at all. And it can't be on this one either, because that's where the chase was. So this 3-gen right here, the Merch has, he's got complete control over it. And that's Haze taking an injury. Getting found by Merch. And this pallet, I mean, this area of the map is so dead right now. They're trying to get maybe a bit of gameplay in this area of the map to keep themselves safe a little bit, but... Or to give the team distance, but yeah, it's going to be a fast chase into Haze. And there's a pain res right here to be used.
Great patience on the Wolf, and I'm really, really impressed with Merch's use of the bat form. He's so precise in finding the survivors, perfectly predicting and listening to which side of the pallet they are on. He does not miss in bat form. Now we'll be able to make use of those regression perks. Pop goes the Weasel and Eruption coming through. And now our survivors gotta be careful. Merch is in a pretty demanding position here. And he finds Freeze, who's rotating for the pull. We're playing it slow, we're just applying Eruption to our generators. This is looking very good for the
Just got
killer.
a news report from the other semi-final. Looks like Monkeys are leading 1-0. And actually with the, 4K2 to 4K0. So leading by quite a margin there. Eclipse taking the first loss.
Wow, well played by Monkeys.
Yeah, well played. And looks like the sets are kind of really are like proceeding at the same time, but that's gonna be a hit onto Freeze. Hayes still on the hook right here. The chase, I believe that was the rotation for the unhook. So now
they can't even trade right now. This is horrible.
Yeah, this is really bad. This could potentially turn into a 4K2 pretty quickly. Trying to send it, and that's Eruption onto the last survivor.
He sees the aura.
They didn't call the down, and that's going to be potentially the 4K2 secured. Unless Zero just completely pops off.
And Zero was just walking. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he sees him. He just sees him behind the tires. Or
oh, and it's through the pallet.
Yeah, and there's not enough distance. Has to stay at this loop here, and that is going to be Mercy securing a 4K2 for Mercy.
This was really impressive Dark Lord gameplay. Wow, that was so fast.
This is why he kind of rose to popularity, because the second he gets that fast tunnel out, he's so strong in the 3v1. He suffers in the 4v1 if you can prevent it, but you've got a player like Merch and Dark Lords. He's not going to be giving up this opportunity, is he? So, yeah, super well played to secure that 4K2 and 4K3 win-con for Track on this. I don't know. It may even come down to timeless, but this was a fast game. This was a very fast 4K2.
The game was fast. Yetzer managed to find Freeze on the ground very quickly. No bleed out timer. Definitely see why this was Mercy's pick. Very impressive gameplay. Those bets for quote-unquote phases and the Hellfires really impressed me this time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, I do wonder how Serein are going to fare on the killer side, actually, because I'm not too familiar with their Dark Lord. But again, another set that rose to popularity, and I wonder if it's something that Serein have picked up. I'm not too sure. But definitely Mercy's territory, Mercy's game to win. Yeah, just trying to think. Like, that early down really definitely kind of led to that situation, I think. Getting such a bad death spot in that 4-gen early on. Rats going down and securing second stage, while still getting pressure on the other areas of the map.
Yeah, and then the
unhook was really strong. Really set
the
up.
The unhooker getting found and not being able to even trade. That's it. It can end that quickly.
Yeah, and like you said with the hook trades, like you can't hook trade against the Draco Order. It's very, very easy to deny one with that like sort of range of Hellfire. So if you're slightly off the mark with your timing, then it can lead to disaster, which it clearly did. That was essentially a matter of how many gens they could get done before Merch ran away with that game. And yeah, well, super impressive to see, to be honest. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, and the survivors, of course, had a good game plan. They managed to break the 4-gen, then break the 3-gen while the tunnel out was happening. I think definitely a good solo performance by Rats on Survivor again. But then it just kind of crumbled under the pressure. And the Eruption aura read coming through at the very end was just the cherry on top, basically.
The nail in the coffin. So
the nail in the coffin.
If we're
depending which side you're on.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. I have seen, so I had to lie actually. I do remember seeing Serein play against Dark Lord, and it did go quite bad. So I don't know if this is maybe a set that they practice all too much, or I don't know, maybe we just have some cracked Dark Lords out there in the world. But yeah, player like Merch making complete full use of that That's it, but we're just getting ready in the lobby. We'll be into the gameplay shortly, but yeah, I definitely think a strong early game right now will secure it for them potentially, unless they fumble the bag completely. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. I don't
um,
think you can have a much stronger early game on killer side than Merch just did. And I wouldn't mind this going to the tiebreaker. We've seen Merged on the Billy against Team Reassure. And that was a treat to watch. So I'm very excited to see why these two teams have agreed on that tiebreaker when it seems like such a strong weapon in the arsenal of Team Mercy. If we go there to the tiebreaker.
yeah, Billy's a really chaotic set anyway. So in general, no matter what teams you're watching, it's definitely good. I mean, Jason we saw was insane on it as well. Insane on mechanics plus ping as well. It just leads to a recipe for success. But yeah,
We
that
do
was
gotta
a
remember though that Mercy did take the Billy set from Jason,
Mhm.
so they are
Yeah.
definitely well versed in that, and I hope that Serene are just as good
Yeah, I
because
mean, I do have high
I
hopes
just
there.
love to watch Billy.
It does seem like they got a bit more of a favorable draft in this kind of in this matchup. Like the Billy and the Billy and the Dark Lord definitely being points of comfort for Mercy.
Yeah,
Two of the three sets, but I have no idea like where it kind of sits with Serein. To be honest, I definitely know more about Mercy than Serein. I think it's because they played in the tournament last time. But they're on track for they're on track for grand finals at least with this momentum. But we are in the gameplay once again. Rat's now on Dark Lord for his team into the corrupt area of the map. Try and find our first survivor. And is there anyone right around? See if we can get a bit of safety stealthing. A crow has just landed on this tile here, so he knows someone's around. Is he going to be able to find the survivor who triggered this crow? Looking around. No, it doesn't look like that's the case. See some scratch marks, actually. That would have been probably the survivor who rotated down.
this is
Survivor's
so
looking at
tense for the
them.
killer if you're not finding someone super early.
Yeah.
You're already behind, but he does find his chase onto Bandit now. Bandit gets the stun though.
Yeah, first chase onto Bandit, and good start for the survivors. How long is this chase going to go? How long is this chase going to go on for? Because this early game is really, really going to count. Going to need to count for Rats if he wants to try and get that 4K3 win condition secured, or 4K 2ing in record time. It depends really on the survivors of Mercy. But we've got Squirrelia now in chase on Dino Dwight. Hellfire coming through, but playing the pallet quite nicely. Gets decent pathing, peeks around the corner. We're just going to be following ourselves around this pallet, but being a bit impatient with the Hellfire, honestly. I think he could be a bit more patient. And eats a pallet stun too, so that's going to give even more distance.
You can definitely see that Merged was way more willing to switch to the perfect shape-shifting form every time it was needed. Rat's kind of trying to hit with the Hellfire, now going for the wolf form, missing the first dash, but the injury should come in now. But at the time that Rats gets his first injury, Merch was already getting his first down. So this is a huge difference. First gen already popping, with just an injury to show for it.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely compare pacings of the game. This is 1,000,000% in favor of Mercy, and it's just about whether they can just kind of keep pressing that advantage. Rat's going to need something pretty big given the state of the game currently. It's really dodging out nicely on the Hellfire, and that's just going to be an M1 to secure that down. Still got 4 stacks of pain res to be using, and this is going to be our first hook of the game, and 2 gems of popped ME. That's not good.
It is not good at all if your win condition is 4K3. Great chase coming through by Squirrelia, making great use of the balanced landing, playing the tile against the Hellfire perfectly, and then even almost sneaking away with a cheeky perk that is Champion of Light. Because if you're using that Champion of Light against the Dark Lord, you don't leave scratch marks in the bat form, making you extra stealthy on a potential getaway. So some deep knowledge of the set coming through by Team Mercy as expected. And Rats he's torn apart. He needs to protect his hook. He needs to find another chase. Anok coming through unpunished. This is looking so good for the Mercy survivors.
exactly what they need when they're 1-0 down in the series. So it looks like a tiebreaker is going to be likely with 2 or more gens left to pop, basically. And the Unhooks come through, and I feel like Rats is definitely right in sort of leaving to go and find someone else, because essentially you kind of just have to really stay on top of gens. Even if you do lose that tunnel out, it is going to be more beneficial for you if you protect the generators over getting into that 3v1. But he's not in a position to do that, unfortunately. So he really can't. He's going to be punished if he tries to go for that. And we found another survivor. Is that Squirrely off in the distance? I didn't quite see peeking around the corner, but
It is
no, it's
merged on Lara. But he may have seen Squirrely on that tile right next to Shaq.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I wasn't sure if I saw a dino tweet off of the corner of my eye. I could have been
You
seeing.
may have seen one, but Rats did not see him.
No, unfortunately not. My high quality game. But I guess you kind of get a bit of tunnel vision when you're in game as well. So you're not always going to be seeing the survivors. But Dino Dwight going to be blending in the camouflage. But Merch now in chase.
I remember Team Mercy talking about Scroyly's fashion choice after their game against Reassure, because he was wearing a very visible outfit on Steve Harrington. This time he's on a very, well, blendy Dino Dwight on Azeroth. Next chase onto Bandit. But all of the survivors are healthy. Rats unfortunately missing the swing. Great patience by Bandit. Forced to break another pallet without an injury to show for it. And there is the tie condition met by the survivors. And another gen is already close to completion, Zach.
Yeah, kind of just as soon as the early game went wrong and he lost his first chase, it kind of led to this, really. And there it is. There's the 4th gen. And that is going to be Mercy securing the win for the set. Taking the series to a tie. We're going to be going to a game 3. And really it's just a matter of seeing if Rats can get some form of decent result on the killer. But given the momentum they already have, I wouldn't be surprised if they're even closer to a 5th gen, potentially.
And there it pops.
There it is. The 5th gen popping. And almost in no time at all, Team Mercy survivors taking absolute advantage of that strong early game. And yeah, Rats is going to be suffering for that.
Just opening the gate in plain sight while the survivor is chasing it. The disrespect. I love it.
Yeah, it's almost forcing him to make a choice. Like, you either leave my teammate or you come for me on the gate. And now Hick Tank could be coming in with the Hellfire, though. I'm not too sure how effective that's going to be. Oh, that hits onto Bandit. The body block comes from Merge. That's going to protect him.
Beautiful.
Not enough time to switch forms. And I think that's going to be all 4 survivors out of the match. And that's 1 stage. That's
They're getting the hillbilly.
That's absolute beatdown from Mercy onto Serein.
This is an absolute shift in momentum, because
it is.
After that nurse set, it was looking quite bad for Team Mercy. But now they have completely taken control and shown that they are so very capable in these sets that they are confident in. Now, we know they are confident on Billy. Let's see what this means for Team Serein.
Absolutely. Going to be taking a very short break whilst we set up that Billy set, but don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back with the tiebreaker for semifinals. And I'll try and get an update for you on the other semifinals too in the meantime. Hello everyone and welcome back to the semi-final tiebreaker. We now have a finish for Team Serein against the Survivors of Mercy on this Billy. We're finally here for the tiebreaker. It's been a very, very competitive set so far, and we're already trying to find our first survivor. Got that overdrive charging up. We see the eerie engraving and the spiked boots. And we found Squirty, actually. It's going to be a quick down. It is. It's going to be so fast. That's going to be such a quick down for our killer. And maybe a dream start for Serein.
Yeah, that overcharge was 99. That overdrive was 99. Nothing Scrolly can do. Caught out of position. And the survivors barely had time to get on gens. Now, compared to last week when we were seeing scheduled pain resonance, we do have a build that is very reminiscent of the Nas builds we've seen, which heavy focus on gen kicking, Call of Brine, Eruption, Pop Goes the Weasel, and Bamboozle to be able to outplay the Shack, outplay the main building, Unhook coming through onto Scryly, and Finnis is probably sending it back to Hook right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to see if we can sniff out that white that was somewhere. Call of Brine going to block on that gen that we just walked away from. And interestingly, we see the Bamboozle. I wonder if that's for the main building, potentially. Trying to shut it down a little bit. And almost getting merged on that. Getting a very interesting M1 over the window, too. Not very happy about that one, but taking the injury and leaving. But most importantly, they've lost their tunnel out. Or at least they don't know where he is for now. Who is this? No, he's found him. The game sense coming in from Tenax.
Strikers and Chase again has this powerful main building.
We faked that too.
Is he gonna be able to get away from this? What is this exhaustion pack? Nice crouch behind the locker. Does he make the pallet? Deadhot coming through, gaining a bunch of distance and extending the chase. Really well played by Scryly. This was much needed. Back onto the main building now, looping the window again. No hit coming through. Bamboozle blocking the window. Fast gen came through for the survivors. And Scryly living another day. Gonna die close to the Shack gen that we know has some progress. But overall, a really nice chase by Scryly. Who is unfortunately Deathhook now, already at 4 gens remaining. But this definitely bought the survivor team some time.
Yeah, it's a fast second stage, but it was an incredibly fast first down. I think we're talking about 30 seconds or less for that first one. So I think given that and the fact that Finnis lost the initial tunnel out, it's probably a good silver lining for Mercy, I want to say. But we still have Merch injured, staying injured because of, I guess, the Billy insta down. But Marisa coming through, and Tellian's gonna take it down there. Finnis is gonna be going back to Hook. Is someone there to save Bandits on a gen? And Hook comes through, but they're just missing out.
These are such close calls.
Yeah, this is a pallet gen too, so it's gonna be safe. Will he make? Does he have enough distance to make it to Shack? I don't think he does. He's gonna have to juke out at least once. Oh no, he gets the stun. He makes the pallet.
Taps the gen for the PM. I love the confidence coming through from Scryly on Deathhook. This is incredible. This is just showing, hey, come at me. Otherwise, I'm gonna finish this gen in your face. And I love it. Now, can he hit a Deadheart again? This is what really matters in this chase.
One of these, as we see, one of the things about this team is that I think they know each other as well. So do a little playful banter now and then. It's pretty nice to see, a relationship between players emerge. But he comes around the Bandit to get Scryly. Says that you're not taking a hit with him either because I can do this. A little bit of an awkward positioning, I mean. Yeah, that's going to be Scryly leaving the trial.
Yeah, really good idea to take the down and the body block with no mither. But the wonderful S-curve coming through by Finnis, catching Scryly off guard, not able to hit the Deadheart because he was expecting Bandit to take the down. Obviously, Bandit is not to blame here. Just a really good play by Finnis. But this tunnel out took the completion of 2 gens, which honestly, in a Billy set, is pretty nice for the Billy. We're seeing some great cancel mechanics coming through by Finnis. Definitely super experienced on the Billy. So yeah, we have a series on our hands. This is gonna be so close.
Yeah, I do wonder if it's going to come back to time. The Volt medium not going to make it over. That's going to be Tillian going down, and we're slugging. We see this gem. We don't want to let it go. And how close was that? That was pretty close, Jen. Merch injured. Got the sprint burst and the deliverance too. If Finis opts to go for that. Predicting the Volt. It's good. Not losing too much distance on that, but this is going to be very close, actually. Well played by Merch there to avoid that. Read the curve back around. Does have the pallet.
Gets the stun. And
That's so crucial.
Even if Merch goes down here, Deliverance, probably unbreakable, and an incredible death spot too. And is not going down just yet. This is Mercy's Billy player, and they're showing that they definitely know how to play against Billy too. Finis is forced to drop the chase, returning to the shack generator. Bamboozling the window, trying to catch the injured survivor off guard. And it's Bandit. He has nothing to play here, just gonna die corner, force the pick with the no mither. And yeah, regression event coming through. This gen is getting mighty crunchy. Now, does Tillian? Yes, Tillian has another gen ready to fire. Pops that one on 4. And we do see Unbreakable on Merged as well. So this player is in a great position, having both Deliverance and Unbreakable available. Finis needs to find another survivor quickly. Otherwise, this Shack Gen cannot get regressed many more times. Does find Tillian on the other side of the map. Let's see how long he can last. Still has a lot of resources up here. Also has the main building available to play. Just dropping every pallet. This is just about buying time for your teammates so they can pop the Shack Gen. And Finis is returning just as we speak.
Yeah, still has the pop though. Look, it was the last second. Timing that to perfection. And the blue chainsaw ran out as well. So that could have very easily not been a Pop Goes the Weasel. Actually giving them some time. Especially the value on Pop Goes the Weasel when the gen is so high, right? Because it's current progression. It's very, very strong when you've got a high progress gen. So it's going to give time to Finis. As we find Merch 99. It's going to make Shack window 2. Extra safety coming in. And Finis decides to leave. Smells a bit of progression over on the other side of the map. And that internal clock's going to be running as well, right? Because if they're splitting the map, Finis is going to have an idea of how far the gens are as the game kind of progresses. And I think it's really more about the hook stages you can secure now. I don't think you can defend this.
Yes. As you said, the survivors are spreading the map beautifully. Now finding chase onto Bandit, who has been hooked before. So this is not gonna be a fresh hook stage. Let's see how long we can last. Using the firecracker to buy a tiny bit more time. Abusing the crouch key. Well done. Does go down here now. Nothing they can do about it. Eruption proccing on both gens. But this is the no mither survivor. If he's luck, he's gonna get back up in no time. And we're seeing on the HUD, Merged has a lot of progress on that Shack gen. And Finis has to know. Probably just deciding to play for the fresh hook now, letting the last gen go. But this map is still not dry. There are still resources where Tillian is chasing. And Tillian is not afraid to drop them. Bandit should be able to pick themselves up any second now. And we're looking at Ox here.
Yeah, we are almost getting a really sick clip, but that's Tillian going to lift the other day. Goes up on top. Gonna break the pallet instead and try to run Met back a little bit. Maybe a hit tank coming in from one of the lower, the less, I want to say, the survivors that are worth less stages. But that's going to be too early of a hit tank, I think, to be honest, because now we have a chase on to Merch. Merch has Deliverance, remember. Is Finis going to pick this? So now Bandit picks himself up. Yeah. Maybe play for Hatch, but this is really far away. And no, it's next to the gate, actually. Finis, yeah, he has to slug, and you've still got the Unbreakable as well onto Finis. Not Finis, sorry, the Merch.
Look at Tillian's bugs too. There are some great anti-slugging bugs in play with Plot Twist and Tenacity. Finis is being put in such a lose-lose situation here. It's really well played by the survivors. The teamwork coming through is immaculate. Bandit willing to take another down, and Merch is deciding to recover instead of
It's just
crawling.
gonna go on for a while. I think he just has to take the slug onto Bandit, right? Because they're just gonna keep doing this. Like there's no way around it. And if
No,
this is
you wait.
a match of pride, although
Bloodlust 3.
the last time we saw Bandit take a hit was, oh, he's so fast. No, he sends it. He doesn't make it. That's unfortunate. That's gonna be the pressure.
Wait, Merged has Unbreakable and a flashlight.
He just
Oh, oh!
No way! No!
I called it, baby. Wonderful survivor play coming through. 3 outs through the gate. What a clinic by Team Mercy. This was amazing.
There's no way this happens in a comp game.
I mean,
Oh my god.
This must have been so stressful for Finnis. What a menacing endgame to
Build up
navigate.
bloodlust for like 30, to build up all that bloodlust, to finally get the fresh hook that you've been kind of searching for the past minute into an unbreakable flashlight save is just cinema.
That's gotta be a tilter.
Oh my god, I do not. I do feel for I do feel for our killer player there, but damn, yeah, what do you say to that?
You just gotta give it to Team Mercy. This was such incredible survivor team play, coordination, and synergy. It's beautiful to watch. And this is against Billy, who's definitely considered an S tier killer, getting 3 outs, 2 fresh, as far as I recall. Beautifully done. Just a masterclass.
Yeah, I felt like it kind of went downhill from the first, at least before the first elimination, where we're seeing the tunnel out lost onto Squirrely. Did eventually go down and still was on second stage at 4 gens, but by that point they'd managed to sort of cement themselves on the map in terms of progression. And then an alarm going off on my phone. Oops. Yeah, cement themselves on the map with the progression, and by the time it Squirrely died, I think we got to 2 gens remaining, and then yeah, the chases towards the mid game were far too long, really, for any sort of 4K to happen. So really well played and really well coordinated. Venice having to be forced to leave chase basically, and yeah, essentially that's what led to it. So maybe we get a stronger early game next game for our Mercy Billy. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think they need? What do you think they need for this return fixture?
It's the little things. Like anytime that a clutch crowd came through, that may have hit on another day. So Merged has shown in the past that his Billy is really good, and if he can show up the way that he did last time against Team Reassure, I think it might be looking quite good for Team Mercy. We're gonna need some. I mean, how do you have better survivor coordination than what we've just seen? It definitely feels like Team Serein is on the spot here. They have to perform on Survivor now.
Yeah, I think for me it wasn't just team play for Mercy, it was also individual chases. Like each individual survivor seemed to be like really knowledgeable about Billy chases in general, and they took full advantage of the fact that they knew what they were doing. And ultimately, I honestly think it was the survivors' game to win there. It wasn't the killers' game to lose.
Yeah, very good point.
And I guess it really just comes down to whether they can match that survivor performance. It's really when you do come down to I guess evenly matched sets or team differences. It's sometimes you kind of compare killer performances, sometimes you compare survivor performances, because both sides can equally shine, but also it is pretty clear when it comes down to it. But yeah, a super well played set from the survivors of Mercy, and I think that Team Serein have a mountain to climb. To be honest,
yes. I'm enjoying this. I'm jumping in my chair. There have been so many good plays.
That game is crazy. I can't wait because we do rolling clips of our last event. Basically, so next event we'll have clips from this event. But yeah, that one's going to be a banger to watch in the internet.
Oh yes, for sure.
Getting that reel of insane clips, but I'm so happy that happened today. It always makes it way more interesting for us as viewers too.
And it was merged. who got that flashy save on
Yeah.
Survivor, who's now playing Killer, and you can just imagine him being really pumped about this.
Yeah, 100%. Complete like in terms of momentum, not just for the team but for the players. That's that's the guy you want on the killer, right? Because he's going to be feeling
Yes.
so good, especially because this is his territory as well. Just like on Dark Lord, we've seen how impressive he is on killer. So we'll see if we can carry that
Yes.
into the. See if Serein have some tricks up their sleeve, but I'm definitely rooting for for Mercy on this one.
I just want to see cool plays, and I've seen so many already. What a great semifinals.
Yeah, and without further ado, we're just about to get into the match. We're gonna have Merch on the Billy, and we
This
see
is
a
a very different build.
It is. It's an aggressive hex build with infectious. Are we looking for a potential slugging situation here? Already found the
Wait a
mid
second.
player. Very classy. I'm waiting.
I thought Hayes may have been caught out there, but makes it to the pallet, now able to play this TNL tile. Survivors are aware of the crowd control by now. Billy is so loud. I might have to turn down my game audio a bit. Now both windows on this tile are blocked. Luckily Hayes does have another pallet within reach. Nice S-curve coming through. Not catching Hayes though, still not dropping the pallet. Gets the pallet drop, no stun. And this should be the first down for Merged. Getting infectious fright, giving us some information on the whereabouts of the other survivors. Finds rats on the flashlight.
And sprint burst, the classic, what we saw in the nurse set too, and he's already got it ready to escape that Billy. That's going to be a first hook on to Hayes.
Into the no mither player, which obviously forces the pickup, but there has not been a gen coming through just now. Obviously, you have less explosive regression if you're running that ruin, but over time it's really gonna kick in. You don't get the immediate value of a pop, but you just get that persistent regression, keeping the survivors on their toes. Beautiful crouch by Zero, playing this shack gen. But what can you do now? Yeah, the crouch key is not gonna save you again. Another down coming in through relatively quickly. Second hook for Merch. Takes them because the fresh hooks are a very comfortable win condition here. And gets a basement hook at 5 gens remaining.
Seeing a lot of value come from this ruin too. We had the chase come down to the bottom side of the map where the gem was being worked on, and then when Zero's pushed off of that, the ruin is just going to eat into it. The one gen does pop, but the second one that they were hoping to pop is the one where the hook is. So Merch is going to be really chilling. He smells a stealthy survivor here in the corner of the map.
Can you find them? The Deliverance player is expected to be nearby. And I have some interesting news.
I have some interesting news as well. I mean, I don't know if you want to break it to tell people where this last survivor is, and it looks like Merch might be onto them.
Let's just check in the basement. Does not see anybody down there, but we
That
do
was
have
cool.
a Sable in the trial, and we know where Sables like to spend their time.
Yeah,
Merged
it is.
is smelling something though. Going back to the hook, not quite sure. He sees.
Did he see
Wait, he
this?
saw Sable through the stairs. Maybe just not paying full attention, but I think he saw Sable down there. You can see through those stairs, and the Anik is coming through. Trying to hide behind the hook. Beautiful use out of the sprint burst yet again by Rads.
And he makes window too.
This was incredible. All of Merch's pressure is gone now.
Oh my god, it is a DH.
This gen was so close to popping too.
That was so well coordinated by the survivors of Serein right there. The sprint burst coming to Rats, not going down there in basement is huge. I mean, I know he has Deli, but essentially you're not able to get anything out of that situation is so huge for the survivors, especially because he was caught out just then.
I don't know. I have not been very familiar with Rats before, but after this semifinals, I'm definitely a Rats fan. Sable stealthing in the basement. That's my kind of gameplay.
That's your brand, isn't it? Yeah. I've seen your streams. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Merch getting the second hook onto Hayes now. No Mither survivor being close to elimination. And able to interrupt the Shack Gen yet again for what it feels like a third time. Now, we do still have that gen that Hayes was working on previously at very high progress. And that's being able to pop it. Nice crouch tag coming through, avoiding the down. And all of a sudden, we're down to 1 gen. Gets the stun. Beautiful play by Rats.
Yeah, so our win con's going to be 4 stages on 3 survivors if Merch can manage that, and it's already looking like I mean the survivors have good momentum so far in the trial, but with such a low win con they can't afford any mistakes. Good crouch. I don't actually know if that was
demon.
He is. Look at it. He's got the filler pallet too. He's going to go down though, and I do wonder if he has that unbreakable to use under that pallet. But Merch essentially cannot let go of this. He can't pick that, which survivors have pressured him, but you don't have enough distance to make that. I don't think it's gonna be close. He gets the stun instead.
All of these stuns and the pickup, and we're in endgame.
The last gen. And if my counting is properly, we're only at 3 stages right now. This is really huge for the survivors of Serein. They could run away with this if they play it perfectly.
This is such an intense endgame. Freeze now on the chase has nothing. This is just gonna be an M1 down, but is it gonna be enough? He's coming in with the body block, taking the down because he's worth less stages. Freeze has a tiny bit more time, gets to play Shack one last time. Survivor already on the exit gate, trying to powering it up. It's Rats on the sprint burst, just gonna send it into the corner to die, buying more time for the team. The other gate is already open. Can these survivors get out? Zero's rotating back into the map, trying to play for a pickup. Meanwhile, Rats goes down to merge them 1. This is another fresh hook, which is much needed, but it is on the Deliverance survivor.
Is that win
Merch
con though?
needs more here.
It might be win con potentially. I haven't been counting fully, but yeah, that's the Deliverance. But it looks like Merch is probably going to walk away with this, given the low amount of stages. But what a fight put up by Serein, though.
This
You have
was
to give
so
it to
nice
them.
to watch. Now Freeze going down. Hayes desperately trying to take the attention of Merch, but this is the basement hook. And if Freeze dies in this basement, or if any other survivor dies in his place, that is definitely the win condition met. And they know the survivors are leaving the trial, knowing a rescue is not possible here. And this should be the win for Team Mercy.
It is Team Mercy going to advance through to the grand finals, and Serein will be knocked down into the bronze match, but they will have their chance to fight against the winner of the other semi-final, which looks like it's on to the tiebreaker as of 15 minutes ago. So it looks like both semi-finals have gone to tiebreaker. So both of these semi-finals are very close. And I'm excited to see the result of that. But once that semi-final 2 is over, it looks like we will get on to that next match. I'm just having a quick look in the match day chat to see. And yeah, so Eclipse took the Spirit set from Monkeys with a really impressive 4K. And yeah, I mean, it's looking at the screen, but wow. One interesting thing. We're going to take a very short, well, I say very short break. It is going to be on to the intermission now, whilst we wait for that the tiebreaker to finish, and then we have bronze match to be set up. It is a best of 1, so it should be a relatively quick setup. And yeah, we'll be back with you very soon. Go and refill your drinks, get your snacks, and yeah, we'll be right back with the next match.
See you in just a bit.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We actually just had perfect timing because we managed to slot ourselves into this last set for our other semi-final. We have Eclipse now with a win condition of 8 stages for fresh in order to win this semi-final and advance to grand finals and on the Cenobite set 2, which is going to be very, very exciting. But yes, we figured instead of waiting for bronze match that we'll just get straight on to another game whilst we had it available. And yeah, well, here we are again with a pinhead set.
Now, Pinhead in comp on Dead Dog Saloon, a very storied and classic set. It largely depends on how well the Pinhead can control the box at the start of the game. Now our survivors were able to take the box before Pinhead was able to start a chain hunt, and now we see Demonized on the killer in chase with reflection on this pesky main building, hitting the chain just on the ankle, but Hex crowd control being in play is gonna make this main way less safe than it usually is. Now on killer, on Dead Dog Saloon, you usually want to bring either Bamboozle or crowd control. Faking the window there, beautiful play by reflection. But the chain hunt is soon gonna start spawning those pesky passive chains that are gonna haunt the survivor who is holding the box. Able to take the chase towards the shack, really solid fast chase. Considering, yeah, this chain hunt has not started yet.
Yeah, and with the Cenobite balancing, the sprint burst and live is banned, so they have no like real outside of balanced landing. I'm not sure if they're using it, but yeah, they have no real escape pattern. But this has been a main building chase into a shack chase, so this has been perfect for the survivors of monkeys. We've got reflection, very, very strong player. Play 1v1s quite a lot, and the spectator is a bit funny.
Yeah,
with
I
the
was
chains.
about to say.
It's like a bit disorientating. That's going to be a first down, and that's the box as well. We've got the ruin in play as well as the pain res. Is there a pain res hook here? There is a pain res in the corner. That is one gen completed in return for a hook stage on the side of Eclipse.
Yeah, this was really a solid first chase from the survivor side. Definitely prioritizing gen progress over altruism. We did not see any hit tanks coming in. We did not see any head-on plays whatsoever. It was just a really solid individual chase by reflection. The team trusting into his ability. Now the next chase starting onto Cetrus. But our killer Demonized has to really make a decision. Going back for the tunnel now. The original pain add-on, being able to put the survivors into deep wounds is in play. Taking the tag onto tech. Now focusing back onto the tunnel out.
That's going to be a chain landed. Does he have a systemic to the pallet? He doesn't. That's going to be a quick second down onto reflection. Is anyone there with a flashlight? Does not look like it. And this is quite a quick second down onto reflections. The second stage with 3 gens left to go. The sooner you can get into the 3v1, the better chances he has of getting those stages kind of counting up. But
nice tag onto Efi. I was not quite able to... Yeah, the 3-gen in the desert is still up, and reflection is hooked right inside it. So this is potentially a bit dangerous for the survivors.
Yeah, with Ruin up as well, you have to think... I don't know where that Ruin totem is. There's one that's right there. It could be Undying.
Both of the totems are inside the desert. This is such a demanding, strong position for Demonized. He does not really have to leave this hook to get a really solid result. And we know the win condition is 8 stages, 3 fresh, with the potential tunnel out coming out with 3 or maybe 2 gens left remaining. Short swing misses onto tech. Chained up again though, the injury is going to come through now. And I assume Demonize is going to go straight back to the hook for the tunnel out, just taking a quick tag on the way.
Yeah, they can see them crossing over on that top side there, trying to get across towards tower maybe. But yeah, did he see both? I saw he saw both survivors, right? So I don't know if reflection is still in this area, but Chain Hunt is about to be started. And we see some scratch marks maybe going towards main. No, we see that's Cetri's actually trying to take the hit. The box is being solved. Have they escaped disaster, to be honest? I wonder if that was an overextension by Slips there on killer side, but we've got 4 injuries right now. That's a mend now for Effie and also Sentries as well. And now this is where it gets a little bit difficult because you have these deep wounds now that you just constantly have to mend. Gonna buy you time for your team to it's gonna buy the killer time to get more stages. So it's almost like a race against the clock. But now they're at that bad position, I'm feeling a little bit better about it. Oh, stops the reset as well, and he stops it.
The Mend resets all of the progress that was done onto Reflection, which means we have our Tunnel out in Chase, injured, in Mending. We need some serious hit tanks or gen pressure to come through, but we see that our survivors are doubling the main generator. So Reflection needs to really lock in here, but gets caught off by the mind game. And this is going to be an elimination at 2 gens remaining. Quick.
He might have vaulted on this or something.
Yeah, maybe some desync. But yeah, this is such a strong spot for the killer with all survivors still being injured and no healing progress having come through just yet. This is where the pinhead set gets really demanding. All totems are still in play. You still have the very tight 3-gen in the desert area, and many of the resources have already been expanded.
Yeah, and everyone is injured too, so it's basically cutting the killer's progress in half when it comes to getting it down on the survivors. Probably wants to avoid main building at all costs and sees a rotation from Sentries into that gallows area. This is exactly where Slips wants to chase. So I do wonder what the plan is. We hear a gen actually pretty far. It looks like it's over there on the right hand side. But Sentries is there. Is that gen pop in time? No, they can't finish it because they're injured. And this is going to be a pain res.
In the 3-gen with even less resources than before.
And Ruin as well. Wow.
And look at that bar on the left side of your screen. The chain hunt is also starting to begin. This is disaster for the survivor side. This is such an uphill battle for them, and he finds the box too.
Oh, this is like, I don't know. What's the word, like, I don't know, is it plot armor for Eclipse, I guess, today? The RNG is crazy.
Oh no, Tech is just standing there in disbelief. Now, Ethy is also being found, getting down pretty much next to Hook. This went from bad to worse in a matter of seconds, and really, mending the cactus, and Team Monkeys knows it's over. Really well played by Demonized. Super solid. Never in a position to lose this game at all. Played it down beautifully after a pretty extended first chase. And this means that Team Eclipse is going to be moving to the grand finals. Is that correct?
It is, yes, and we'll essentially be setting up a bronze match between Monkeys and Serein. To battle out for 3rd place, which will be just the best of 1, so nice and quick, hopefully. But once that comes through, the players have been made aware that it's happening. But 4K2 to close out the series for this for the second semi-final. I'm actually glad we got to see it a little bit, but even though it was a short time with you all, I guess we're gonna have to move to set that game up, but I don't have much to comment on really because it's we only saw 1 set, but everything going right for Slips in that situation. But yeah, really well played, and congratulations to Eclipse for going through to grand finals. Commiserations to Monkeys; they will play for a 3rd place, but super excited to see that. Any finishing words before we go to a quick break?
I'm just very excited to see all of the teams we have in the bronze match, in the grand finals. I think we're in for a great time. If we get some spicy picks, I'm all here for it.
Yeah, me too. But without further ado, we'll very quickly try our best to set up that bronze match as fast as possible for you, so you're not left waiting too long. But we'll be right back after a short break. Thank you very much, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tenax Proving Grounds number 2 for our final match, Grand Finals. We're here, Eclipse versus Mercy. We had a forfeit on the side of Monkeys who didn't have enough players for their match. So we give our congratulations to Serein for securing third place. But we're here at the final match now, another best of 3. We are just setting up the lobby, but I thought we'd take a bit of time just to talk about the game that we've got ahead of us. But welcome back, Emmy, of course, who's been casting with me for the rest of the evening.
Thank you so much, Zach.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. So yeah, I mean, these two teams have won all their matches, like throughout the tournament, of course. Have done it pretty decisively. Both semi-finals went to a tiebreaker. So it has been a bit of an extended evening for both of them. So they're tired. They're warmed up. So let's say we're in a contention for a really cool grand finals. But how about we talk about the picks and bans? Emmy, do you have them up on your screen? Do you need them? Do I need to give them to you?
I do have them available, and I would say that these teams are not only warmed up, at least for Team Mercy, we know they're coming in hot. We have a repeat of the Dark Lord on Wrecker's Yard, which was Mercy's pick, versus Eclipse's Spirit on Grim Pantry, with a tiebreaker of Unknown on Wrecker's Yard. Now, we have seen Merged perform on the Dark Lord, an amazing 4K2 in their last matchup. This is also going to be the first time that we're seeing the Eclipse survivors in action. And I am really excited if this is going to be a repeat of what Merged was able to show in the semifinals. This is going to be a great start to this grand final.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I'm familiar with the Eclipse Survivors. They are a very strong team. I'd say mid-tier team. I would say around the level of Eclipse, but it seems like they both have got kind of two sets where they're relatively strong on. So at least for the start, and then we've got an unknown tiebreaker, which unknown is harmless killer, lol. But we've got Dark Lord coming up first, followed by a Spirit on Grim Pantry, I believe. So two sets something else. And of course I made them change the Spirit map because we don't want double wreckers. We don't do that here. I might introduce something like actually rule related, but they agreed to play Spirit on Green Pantry, and so that's going to be a different map, and then we'll have Unknown on Wrecker's Yard for the tiebreaker. But yes, super cool. These teams threw this all together in like the space of in the space of like 10 minutes. So big thank you to them, of course, for mobilizing and getting us ready into the next match.
Yeah, thank you so much to the teams, to the players, and also to the viewers for sticking with us. I know this intermission was a bit on the longer side. And let's talk about Spirit on Grim Pantry a bit, which is not the usual competitive setting that Spirit players or survivors are used to, because usually the Spirit finds her home on Wrecker's Yard. Now, Grim Pantry is very different. It is a much larger map. Arguably, you could say on Swamps, survivor footsteps are easier to track than on Wrecker's Yard because you have those swampy, wet footsteps. But there is almost like a nurse macro game on Grim Pantry where you can really abuse death spots on the edge map. Sometimes you don't have a hook available. If you're running Pain Resonance, you might have those Scourge hooks at the very edge of the map, out of reach for your killer. It definitely is a shakeup from the much smaller Wrecker's Yard that is way more dense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying with the nurse macro. It's a much larger map, and there's a lot of Spirit being 110, of course, slowing her down as well with the carry, and I think there's a lot of different kind of play styles that you see compared to Wrecker's Yard. I mean, Wrecker's Yard you still have positional deaths, but there's a more consistent gen splits on that map, so death spots still work on that map. But Grim Pantry definitely in terms of size and whatnot, it is a much bigger map, and there's a lot more opportunities to delay the killer in that regard. But yeah, it is typically like a second priority map for her. Wreckage Shop being the first, but I'm super excited. But without like further ado, we are loading into our Dark Lord set. It's going to be Merched, who we've just seen absolutely dominate on the side of Killer against Team Serein with a 4K2 in record time. So this is a set that we know Mercy is strong on. But I was also in the Eclipse VC, and they were very happy when Dark Lord was picked as well. So, you know, it sounds like both of these teams are very proficient at this set. But we'll see, I guess. Dark
That's
Lord on
wonderful
Richard's
to hear. I'm just so excited for more gameplay because it's been such a blast watching these teams. And if Merged is able to find Chase as early as he was in the game against Serein, this is really gonna set the tone. Sees a crow, immediately teleports to the window, and finds the Jake stealthing edge map. Kurosh and Chase, maybe saving a sprint burst here? Yes, that is indeed the sprint burst.
Oh. With a short... what's the word? He just accidentally swung, basically. But,
yeah, it's the trigger happy.
Yeah, trigger happy.
There.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Thank you. Oh, don't get mind gamed on the Shack. That was close. Yeah, Kuroshi Chase did get some sort of value from his sprint burst, but he didn't actually make it to Shack without being injured. And looks like we're getting some double vaults nice on this maze tile. We're back over here by this dumpster, but I don't think there's any pallets to work with apart from that one there. Does he make it? He does. Didn't quite see that pan around, but this could be a down. It is. Yeah, it's going to be a first down at 5 gens, and Merged off to a flying start as we've seen from him usually in the Stockwood set.
Kurosh winning a lot of important 50-50s there, but still going down eventually. I think this death spot is really nice inside the corrupt areas, so the Survivor team will have had some time to crank away at those motors. Scout Pain Resonance coming through, interrupting the first gen from popping. And yeah, I think this is a pretty even start for both sides. And the game is wide open here. Let's see if Merged finds a Survivor yet again. Really quick on those finds in bad form. Just as impressive as he was in the last Dracula set. Gets the tag onto Lonut. And for the people coming in, protecting the tunnel out onto Kurosh. Merged, trying to find a new chase over here by the hook.
Yeah, so you can already tell that fast unhook, they had the rotation ready. So, you know, that's already the sign of a team that knows what they're doing, especially in situations of protecting the tunnel out. Just shows their experience. We've got Iona and Chase now. One gen does pop, and the pallet stun coming through as well on the short side of that pallet gym.
Massive value, making great distance. Being able to play another edge map filler pallet here, dying far away from the gen, dropping the pallet. Now the Hellfire is coming through. Great dodge on that one as well. Buying so much precious time for his team. Now can Merged get a quick down here? He decides he has to leave. Has to stop this gen from popping, and a great dodge onto the pounce by Fra.
Gives up the chase to try and get an injury, but it doesn't pay off. Fra definitely doing well to dodge that one out. We see some scratch marks here. It could be someone. Yeah, it's a healthy survivor though. Oh no, it isn't. There's no blood. I didn't quite see it on my screen, and that actually hits over that. Wow, you can definitely know the spots when you're merged, right? We've seen it on a couple of fillers. But yeah, that's gonna be a second pain wrist now. That's a 2 stages, 2 fresh on the side of Mercy. On the side of Mercy.
Merged had a pretty hard time tracking Ionut before, but after that smash it came through, Ionut was exhausted, so Iron will no longer kicking in, making it much easier for Merged to track during the bad form. Fakes the gen kick, but our Survivor does not fall for it. Now kind of stuck on this pallet is Daimao. Makes great distance though. Was that a quick and quiet? No, just no audio playing, which sometimes happens in Dead by Daylight. Now the third gen is already popping for just 2 hook stages. The Survivors are really bringing the heat.
Yeah, it's also like you do see when people play or when people pick when people make picks, it's either because they have a really strong specialist killer, or it's because they're confident on their survivor side, right? And it's about like when it comes to the killer player saying, "Oh, are you guys do you guys match? Can you guys match this or beat this on the survivor side?" And quite often, sometimes they get to consensus for sets. But yeah, we see it with like Houndmaster and stuff, like where the survivor side is kind of learned a little bit, and it's less so about how the killer does, because the killer's got a certain expected value. And I mean, these survivors will have maybe said, "Oh yeah, we're happy with that because our survivor side is solid against Dracula. It's really well practiced." Whereas on the Mercy side, they clearly have a strong killer player, and I'm not sure how the survivor side kind of fares up to that. But yeah, we've got Ionut or Given taking a second hook stage, and we've got one gen remaining. Kurosh there, making himself known, worth the least amount of stages compared to the rest of the team, and yeah, Merch is here to check on these gems with the Pop Goes the Weasel. And look at the progression that they have, Emmy. It's looking real good for the survivors.
Kurosh aggressively hovering, basically screaming to Merch's face, "Yeah, camp this out. Just give us the last gen. We're happy to take it." Daimao and Fra both staying injured, working away at the generator. We're gonna need a quick down for Merch now to stop this last gen, to get the eruption. And it seems like the quick down is actually coming through onto Fra, which gives us another pain rest right here. Swinging out of the pallet, hearing the footsteps from Kurosh, great awareness. The pallet save did not happen. There was some an idea, but it was not executed on. Really important to stop that one gen from popping. It was so close, and now Merged is buying precious time to potentially get another down. Still has the Pop Goes the Weasel ready to go to regress the gen even further. And at this point, the survivors might start to think about starting an entirely new gen, because this one is definitely on Merged's radar, and he's not gonna let go of this one easily. The Anaconda Fra coming through, and Merged is searching for the survivor who is working this gen right now.
If it's Ace, it's best case scenario for them. The Death Hook survivor, but the one that's healthy, right? He's going to be able to make distance to a safer area of the map. And all the other survivors that are injured are worth a pain rate stack. So at least he's got one left, right? Because Fra was the third one. We've got Daimao, the last pain rate stack to be used. But yeah, it's really about positioning. And has he found Daimao? He has, and he dodges out quite nicely. And we're on the long side of this dumpster filler, trying to play it, but it's quite difficult. Playing now onto the short side.
This chase is really important for the survivors.
Oh my god, he wins it! He wins
That's
it, and that might be enough.
Baby.
That might be enough for that last gen. I'm not too sure. It depends on how much distance he can make. Does Merch want to commit this though? He needs to end up fast. But look, there's hit tanks coming in from survivors that have already been pain resed. Good body block from Fra, and that's gonna miss. That Hellfire misses, and that's basically Merch's chance at getting Daimao down the drain somewhat, unless he's still here at this. But yeah, that's the last gen confirmed.
And of course, it's adrenaline. What a beautifully altruistic play by Fra. The hit does not even matter. And yeah, let's see how many survivors Eclipse can get out of the door. How many fresh stages. And this is
he doesn't get it!
That was so close. Daimao is getting so much resilience value right now. And Fra is there for another hit tank. Oh, misses the swing through the window.
So close. This is gate ready. Someone could be coming in for a hit tank. Now he doubles back to Shaq. Maybe they're trying for a hatch play. Oh no, someone else is here at this gate. Is it ready though? Is it ready in time? Will someone go down in response to this? Someone is there for the hit tank.
What a great hit!
He gets it on the fresh hook too. It's perfect. That's the survivor that he wants. A bit unfortunate for the survivors of Eclipse, but Merch is going to be happy with the fresh hook coming out.
This is the best case scenario for him.
But Kurosh is injured, so the idea of a trade is probably out the window.
Yeah, nothing you can do there.
Yeah, what is that? That's like 7 stages, right? I think on 4. Along the lines of that. But yeah, really impressive macro gameplay from the survivors of Eclipse, to be honest.
Definitely a different pace compared to the Serein survivors. Definitely challenging Merged here, and now it's time for Mercy to show up on the survivor side. We're seeing the same build from Merged yet again with the Force of Echo add-on, increasing the spawn rate of Scent Orbs, which is something I've not seen in competitive before. Usually, most Dark Lord players prefer the Traveler's Boots for longer teleportation range. So an interesting adaptation.
Yeah, I mean, I think that given his three forms, he has a lot of add-ons that kind of support each form, right? So it could be that Merch prefers wolf form. I don't know. Um, Similar to Freddy, really. Like I think Dracula is on the verge of being a specialty killer in some ways. Because with Freddy, you have like your snares and your dream palettes, where you have add-ons that kind of support those. Same with Dracula, where you have each form enhanced, and it's about whether you get maximized use out of that. So we did see him use Wolf form a lot, and I think that's probably why, because he's trying to get value out of that add-on, right?
For sure. And compared to the last time that Mercy picked this killer, where they got a 4K at 2 gens remaining, this is a bit different. We definitely saw the survivors winning more crucial 50-50s, just extending the chases ever so slightly, and those seconds really matter in competitive Dead by Daylight because time is what's most important. Just a couple more seconds on the gen, a couple less seconds in chase, those can really make or break the game. And again, beautiful teamwork coming through, great body blocks, and just the efficiency on the generators as well on the exit gates. They were just ready for everything. And also getting the quick pull from the For the People survivor, definitely leaving Merged way less room to breathe, putting on the pressure onto Team Mercy.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are just going to take a very, very quick break whilst we set up the sex lobby because we've got something to sort out in the background very quickly. It won't take long at all. We'll be with you in just a second. Don't go anywhere. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Dracula set. We now have slips for Team Eclipse now. Looking for a win count of 8 stages for Fresh to secure the win for the first set for his team. Matching Mercy on a set that they've been so strong on. And we're already trying to find our first chase. We have Corrupt in play. You can see Pain Res, Eruption, and No Holds Barred. Oh, no one's calling it that. Let's be real. It's called Eclipse. But we see someone over there. Actually, it's merged, crossing over behind the main. And Slips is on the case trying to find him. Using the back phone to close distance. And then we should have our first chase underway. Nice read on the scratch marks there. And not quite reaching with the Hellfire. This is going to be a continued chase on the Hellfire to use. But this is it looks like a TNL. That is a hit. Fake attempt tries to come through, but Merch is going to take a hit anyway. Now we're onto this filler. And almost gets it. The pallet drop was, I mean, he had enough distance to make the pallet drop and still dodge, but that was very, very risky. And now we're over to Crane. It's going to be a guaranteed pallet break if he decides to drop it. Doesn't. He goes around, reads it a little bit longer, but is going to remain safe for now. And yeah, this is a decent first chase on the side of Mercy, to be fair. Firecracker coming through. And does get stuck on that. Does have the pallet, but the Hellfire is going to prevent him. So he's going to go round instead. Will he fake this? He will. But just going to wait for the vault. Good patience from Slips. And that is going to be almost 2 gens completed.
Yeah, it almost seems like the entire team is over here. Demonized sees all of the Mercy survivors now. Great first chase by Merged, but we're immediately seeing the Deadlock or All Hopes Barred adaptation coming in, preventing the second gen from popping immediately. And now, if Demonized just waits out that Deadlock timer and Pain Res is right after, that's exactly what we're seeing. We're also seeing an immediate adaptation in playstyle, with the Demonized much preferring the Vampire form over the Wolf form. And we do see those Traveler's Boots coming in. While Merged was trying to find the survivors in Wolf form, Demonized is just relying on the killer instincts, literally. Just his game sense to try and find them in the Vampire form. Very interesting differences in playstyle there. And yeah, if you're chasing the specialist killer that you just played against, you can be pretty sure that they will know how to play against their killers. So this first chase by Merged being very, very solid, no surprise at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Hook timer ticking down, and the survivor's not really anywhere to be seen. Looks like they're trying to play a bit of a slower trial because Slips has not seen a single survivor since the back of main.
It feels like they were really all inning on that second generator on main and got really caught off guard by the Deadlock coming in. Because had they popped 2 gens for the first chase, this hook would be way less problematic. But now it's inside almost a 4 gen really, with that gen at the back of the crane. So huge perk value coming through with the Deadlock. And stage 2 has been secured. We need some serious gen progress from Team Mercy now to make up for this. You can see it in the distance. Stroily pops the gen. Maybe able to play for balanced landing here. Demonized now utilizing the Wolf form, barely missing the M1 attack. Immediately goes back to hook. But did he leave enough time for an Anuk to come through? Yes, the Anuk is right there, and for the people coming in as well, making the tunnel out oh so much more difficult. Missing the Hellfire as well, trying to play a bit of an M1 mind game, but Merch reads it beautifully, playing this unique double window tile very well. Not getting impatient against the wolf spots. Really good survivor play here. Every second that our tunnel out can last matters oh so much.
Hit Tang gonna come through from Bandit, blocking the Hellfire, and doesn't even get it as well. Is that gonna be a live in play? Doesn't look like it actually. Not too sure what exhaustion's on that survivor, but always spots the For the People survivor on the gen. They still have main that was decent progress, and that sprint burst is gonna be used away. To break Crane Pallet. Yeah, and
but Chase is going over to Shaq now. Italian really using the sprint burst well. acting as a bit of a bait, injured with that 99 sprint burst, and now not finding the down on Shaq either. Barely bumps into the Shaq wall. Shaq pilot coming down now. Talion extending this crucial chase, and we're gonna have the main generator pop as we speak. Wait a second, the main generator is not popping. So our survivors are now aware of the deadlock and are properly playing around it by 99 in those gens. And now the chase end, but really well played. This was a great survivor effort. And this is only gonna be the third hook stage on the second fresh survivor. Really good play. And no pain resonance. Wait! They pop 2 gens at the same time with deadlock in play. That means the last gen is already 99.
Yeah, amazing efficiency on the side of Team Mercy. And yeah, showing their efficiency in these Dark Lord sets. It seems like they are 100% well practiced with it. Doesn't have anything to work with. He's a bit paranoid seeing someone's around here, but
Sees the deadlock gen at 99% being like, wait a second, I'm in trouble. And that is exactly true. Italian is now broken from... Oh, it's actually Tori Kane's Park clean break. Very, very cool to see that one in action. But yeah, Demonized now has to focus all of their attention on this super high progress main generator. I think he was kind of caught off guard by 2 gens popping and the last one literally being 99. This is such amazing efficiency by the survivors and really stepping up the game, preventing the tunnel out, and oh my god, these body blocks are so cute.
and this is the survivor that's already been a pain res, but it's not going to matter because they finished that last gen and
they had adrenaline.
Yeah,
and
we only
Titan
have
is gonna hear from clean break in no time at all. This is perfect for the survivors. They're taking the right chases and the right spot from the right person. Absolutely beautiful yet again. The stun coming through to Demonize is having nothing. Talion heals to full now, and you can imagine 2 survivors already being on the exit gates.
Yeah, the gates open, and this is, I mean, I was talking about the specialty sets, right? On these killers, whether they have a stronger like survivor side or killer side, but yeah, it just looks like on both sides they're really strong on this set. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the efficiency on the gen was crazy, especially when he lost that tunnel out too. They just completely took over the game. Slips kind of lost his momentum, and then yeah, that was it really for the game. So yeah, Mercy gonna win again on their Dark Lord set.
They seem so good on this set, and this time the coordination was even a step above than in the last set that we saw them play, with the For the People survivor getting the unhook, the body blocks being beautifully executed, and it's just so tilting when you have one survivor running into your face, literally pushing you away so you're unable to use the Hellfire on the survivor you're actually aiming for, and then you miss that pesky survivor. Oh, it feels so bad. Really beautiful team play. And again, crazy efficiency. Realizing that Merged would hit second stage on that hook and just, yeah, going all in on the gens. Great decision making and clutch plays as well. Now it's gonna be Demonized on Killer again on their pick, which is, as we said, Spirit on Grim Pantry. Let's see if Team Mercy is prepared for that as well. We saw them play against Reassure's Spirit, and well, Jason was just kind of unstoppable on that pick, so hopefully they recovered from that one. It was a pretty rough 4k4 if I remember correctly. But yeah, the team's definitely got a wake-up call on that, and it's different. Grim Pantry can play out very differently compared to Wrecker's Yard. So again, the momentum is on Team Mercy's side, and I can't wait to see them perform again. Obviously, I want Team Eclipse to do very well too. And I'm sure that Demonize can make some magic happen on this pick.
Yeah, I mean, you put it great. We've seen them against Spirit, and it's not the greatest. I mean, they did 4k2 We Jason's team, but I think there was a little bit of trolling after the win condition happened anyway. So I don't think we could use that as a good indication of what Merch can do on Spirit. But I have no idea This is Eclipse's pick, so this is something that they're confident on.
And they also picked this map specifically. So you can imagine them probably being a bit more practiced on this particular map. So definitely advantage for them. Very excited to see what they can do.
Absolutely, it's gonna be the same lobby as last time. So if we're talking about momentum as well, these survivors are on fire a little bit at the minute. Slips struggling against them last time, but yeah, I have no expectations for the side of Eclipse on Serein because I've not seen them play it, but we definitely know that that the team Team Mercy have struggled against Spirit historically in our tournament. So yeah, maybe we get another tiebreaker. I honestly don't know unless Mercy lock in right now.
Yeah, and while we were able to see some great team play in the Dark Lord set, the dynamic with Spirit on Grim Pantry shifts so dramatically. While on Wrecker's Yard, you can always have someone play for a pallet save just because there are pallets everywhere. It's not that easy on Grim Pantry. We really need to see some good individual chases in good positions. And against an experienced, maybe Spirit specialist, having a good chase can be so difficult.
It is. She's one of those that really excels, of course, when you're injured. But with the Grim Pantry, of course, I don't know if we touched on it, but it's very infamous for the footsteps, the
Don't
loud
have
footsteps.
Hinatu on the team, who was famously the built-in
Iron Will.
light-footed.
Oh, light-footed.
Well,
Oh,
Iron Will as well, yeah. But those slippers,
that's ace.
they
That's
are
ace.
the
Yeah.
devil's work.
Yeah, that's interesting. Actually, that they didn't think about that. But it could be maybe none of them play Renato, so it's not
I
a
do
survivor
have
that I think along.
I do
I
have
don't know.
Scrimmed Spirit in the past quite a bit, and yeah, my lobbies are usually a
You
Saga,
see,
an Ace, an Ada, and a Hinatu. So
I was gonna say Ace and Ada were like the other two I was
yeah.
thinking of. So is Saga the other one, I guess.
Yes, but
No.
sometimes you also see a Tori and Aurella. Those are also super quiet, but yeah, we're just playing our favorites, and we're seeing Deadlock again. So definitely a pack that Demonized has deemed as a bit of a special pick, as very efficient for the way they want to play. And now this is a very stealthy early game for the survivors. Oh,
Oh,
not
never
anymore.
mind. Ace not hiding in that bush well enough. Now he's gonna get spotted out. And that's the thing. This map is very hard to kind of escape a spirit when you're injured, given the loud footsteps and the injuries and stuff. But it's a really early tag coming in. We've got the corrupt intervention in play, and it's a third done. We see another survivor too. I think that was merged. I believe so on the Lara. Yeah, opting to switch to it and go to Shaq. Actually, I do wonder if maybe he wants to avoid main potentially. Phase walk going to come through. Holds W down into the mid map. Is that sprint burst coming in?
Really great use of that sprint burst. Being such a juicy bait, going away from the main building just to be ready with that 99 sprint burst. Really heads up play by Merged. Buying time for Vertilion to get out of a tough situation. And guess what? Here we are in main building again. Taking the chase where you kind of didn't want to take it, but this time not against an injured survivor, but a healthy one. So we're dropping chase again. We're gonna try to interrupt that gen. And this is the first time in a long time that I'm not seeing, what a great phase, that I'm not seeing eruption on the killers. So way less gen regression than we're used to.
Yeah, opted for the slowdown, and I feel like no holds barred. Oh, quite misreading the sound on that down, but that's huge. Yeah, no downs to come through yet. Corrupt is almost out. We've got 2 injuries still, but Merch got reset, so I'm thinking maybe Tillion's there for a reset too. 1 gem pops through the Corrupt, by the way, and yeah, that's a really good start for the Mercy survivors.
Yes, great patience on
the pain res
survivors.
RNG. No, look, they're all
This
miles
is what's
away.
gonna happen on Swamp. You don't make that. You can't even try. Are they trying to go for this super greedy edge map hook? This is risky! There's a Portlock in the way! No, there's no way Bandit doesn't wiggle here. Well, this might be problems for Team Eclipse. This is definitely not the start you want on your own set. Using the Husk to body block the survivor. Didn't do it properly, he slips past it. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, but he should make the hook now, but like that was so much time wasted. So much time wasted. And if they're 99ing gens, we could be looking at maybe 2 gens left already. Enough time has passed. Resets come through, a gen's popped. So another gen got deadlocked, and they might have been doing another one as well at the same time. I'm just thinking about what progress they might have. But that's going to be a pain res. Eat into one of those gens. But I'm curious to see if Flips is going to go across the map and just be met by, like, I don't know, a ton of progression.
A nasty surprise, yeah. This is exactly what I was talking about. Those individual chases really coming through, and the dreadful Swamp Painless RNG. And yeah, you're kicking this gen, but you don't have Eruption. You're not really stopping this gen from popping. Even if you get a really quick down now, you're not going to get the regression. And now we're dropping our chase because they were running towards the shack, and we're not finding a new survivor. And this gen pops. Beautifully done. Now finding a chase onto Merged again. We know is the Sprint Burst survivor. And Lara is also a very silent survivor. Demonized, trying for a bit of a prediction, but unable to catch Merged out of position. And just, yeah, really grasping at straws here almost. Doesn't even see Merged anymore.
Did he go up the hill to edge map? I don't even know. But yeah, all these losses on the survivor side of chases, I don't know. It's definitely eating into the time that the Spirit has left.
Yeah,
This gen looks pretty close.
You're not seeing any progress on the gens. You're not able to commit to a chase. You see one gen popping, and you're like, I need something now.
And it's that gen over there that's deadlocked too. So this one on Pantry on the docks is their second most progressed. So
no, they did pop the one on the docks. That was the one gen that popped, I'm pretty sure.
The other side, the one that's next to Shack. Oh, is that a palisade?
Coming through.
No! And the blind as well. The bully squad coming in. Slips not able to get absolutely anything from this Mercy squad. It's very, very difficult.
March just really doing everything for his team right now. Playing so well on the killer side. Coming in clutch on the survivor side, both in the Billy set as well as in the Spirit set now. Amazing. And you are really feeling the pressure now if you're demonized, because yeah, this is another edge map down. Good luck finding that pain res when you most need it. Let's see if his RNG is better over here. Yes, he should be able to make one of those. But again, this hook is pretty far. You see the little camera shake getting stuck on the tree, and a bit of tilt definitely coming through. They have another gen ready, and now the pain res hit nothing because of deadlock. What is going on? This is such an amazing game being played by the survivors.
Yeah, Mercy kind of showing up. It's been very, very impressive to watch. This gen's progressed. They've also got progress on another one, even by the hook too, which we saw from the last deadlock. Checking the locker, trying to find someone who's up here, but
yeah,
stealthing really, really, really well.
These phases are just Hail Marys coming through, just really hoping you end up on top of the survivor because you have nothing to go off. These survivors are stealth demons and gen monsters. Finally catching Merch, but guess what? You used 2/3 of your face, and the survivor has sprint burst. Finally, a good hit coming through on an unfortunate medium vault. This could be a very quick down onto Merge. Let's see if Demonize can capitalize on this.
It's gonna be a corner.
We just go edge map again. Comp corner, point tech. Let's see if we have a pain res again. But I think this is the corner that does not really have one. I was wrong. There is one right there, which is very good for our killer.
It's gonna be a pain res eating into maybe one of 2 gens that are probably 99. I'm just thinking like they've had so much time to work on gens. They go for the pull and reset onto Scroily. That gen's not been done, not been repaired. And what about this one over here? This one, I have a slight suspicion is pretty close to being done.
You can hear it.
Yeah,
this is at almost like 80%, maybe a bit more. But these survivors just don't leave stretch marks anywhere. This is the most frustrating thing for a Spirit. You want to have those chases, but if the survivors are denying you the chase, you're left guessing. Just tapping the face to potentially see a survivor flicker in and out of existence. Finds the chase now. but misses the swing. I think this was the balanced landing survivor again, not making a sound while dropping down. Gets caught off guard by a double back a bit, but still has another pallet here. Greets it because he knows it's a very unsafe pallet. Does get the hit, but I think
Adrenaline.
it was adrenaline. And the last generator pops, of course. This is really, really well played by the survivors. And yeah, you are in endgame as Spirit against 4 healthy survivors. This is at a minimum 3 outs on the set that you picked. This is definitely not the result that Eclipse was hoping for. It's 4 out. Firecracker coming in as well. And Demonized is left watching. Really, really impressive survivor play. That was beautiful to watch.
3 stages. This is going to be so tough for the Eclipse survivors. They're going to have to play a perfect game to match that.
This was textbook. We really saw everything that we talked about. We saw the corner death spots, even denying a pain res early in the game. That was quite crucial. We saw strong individual chases. We saw strong stealth. This was, yeah. I'm so impressed. This is so fun to watch.
It was very, very impressive indeed. We are going to take a quick break whilst we set up the reverse spirit fixture, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a second.
Ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else, welcome back to the potentially last match of the grand finals. We have Hope playing killer for Team Mercy. They need 4 stages on, really any survivor they can get to win this set 2-0. Now, a bit of a favorite of mine coming through, the Tomie skin. And Hope is looking for the first chase around the shack area now. The Eclipse survivors are being put in a bit of a tough situation here. Getting less than 3 stages on 3 fresh survivors is going to be quite the task. So stealthing is very much necessary. You need to take this game slow. You need to not show yourself, maybe even wait out this corrupt intervention. And once you're found, you need to take a great chase in a great position.
Yeah, I seen something similar like happen before on DVD League where I believe Pedro got stealthed for like 7 minutes or something. Or it took him 5 to 7 minutes to get his first down. But I think that's a Mathis right there. Actually, he's just been found. Not quite hidden on that pallet, but that is going to be the vault. And we are at main building, which is one of the stronger tiles. Is that a balanced landing? It is. Very well played right there. Pallet drop going to be coming down. And Mathis, I know, is a very, very strong survivor. So this is absolutely who Eclipse want on the first chase. And hopefully he doesn't get too tapped after I glaze him like that. But like, is that enemies? It was. They're resetting the pallet underneath the main, and now this is good. This is good momentum for the survivors, not letting Hope get anything back early on. And this is exactly what they need. Go drop that pallet. Corrupted Dimension has now run out, and we are potentially looking at our first injury onto Mathis as he vaults our window, and we're going to wrap around back under main potentially. Try to focus chase. Yeah, looks like we want to stay here. Gets the window vault. Fade is going to run out. Should get one more rotation out of this main building. Maybe even 2, considering that she is a 1 at 10 killer. She does have power up. Imagine she's going to be using it straight away. And he does drop down. Does he have the balance landing back? Oh, wow. He gets the pallet. Actually, this is a very good chase by Mathis. Tries to Jiggy Vault and forces the locker break. 1 gen pops, and that is 1 stage for quite a while, actually. I mean, yeah, 2 gens. Wow, no deadlock or anything preventing them, but that's a really good start for our Eclipse survivors.
Yes, this is exactly what Eclipse needed, and while this is a really, really good first chase, this does not necessarily decide anything just yet. Eclipse is gonna need a series of great plays to stay inside of this final matchup. They really can't allow any mistakes. They need to stay locked in. Great chase by Mathis. And so far, we've only seen Merged be the killer for Team Mercy. Now, with Hope coming in, we can expect them to be a bit of a specialist killer. Definitely very proficient on the Spirit. And if we're going to see some quick chases in the near future, this can still go south for Eclipse. But so far, great start. And yeah, everything going right for them so far.
Yeah, 3 survivors. Stages, 3 fresh. I mean, one kill doesn't win that. So you're going to need to get a kill and a stage on top of that. So that's almost a different story in itself. Unless, Hope wants to... if they want to camp this, they risk losing all the gens, and then they need 1 more stage. But is that even possible with body blocks and maybe time for an exit? I'm not too sure. I'm trying to vision like what they do here, but it's really going to come down to how slow Eclipse want to play it. That's going to be Mathis going second stage, Daimao playing this safe, and we have 2 gens being worked on at the minute, either side of Shack. I do wonder what the other 2 are being done. We've got on docks and then on this left side of the map, but that's Daimao taking an injury. This is... I don't see any reason not to commit this. You've got a second stage, and now you've got an injured survivor. This gen looks very, very close. They do pop that. Firecracker not going to work, and he dies on pallet. Is there a sprint burst player around here? He does see them, though.
There is. Hope is aware of them. Does not get caught off guard by a bit of a goofy-looking play. And yeah, this pallet save is very important. Making a noise there. Getting the stun.
That's a huge stun. He hasn't secured the hook stage yet. This is buying a lot of time for the survivors. Mathis is still injured. Hasn't been reset yet. Oh, it's Cool Rush there. Play for the pallet save. This might be a bit greedy from the survivors. They've just got 2 injuries on the board.
They need to be greedy here, though. It is the only way they can win this set, and they know. They are gambling on this pallet save, but if it's not paying off, it's a big risk. I definitely agree with them playing this risky because they have to, but they cannot prevent the hook from coming through. So Fra is gonna be our second fresh hook, second stage, 3 survivors injured, and yeah, with everybody resetting, obviously no gen coming through just yet.
That's 3 stages, I think, on 2. So
you're right.
One more fresh hook would be the win, and they're all injured. So it's
not even a fresh hook. You can get a hook on anybody, really. Now into Daimao and Chase taking it to main building. I do have a bit of a spectator bug. I'm sorry about that.
Oh my god, this is playing 50s. He has to win the 50 of his life on this pallet. Against the spirit phasing, it's not going to work.
It doesn't. We need a miracle. The firecracker has already been used. What kind of magic can Korosh pull here? I don't think there is anything. Let's be real.
I think that's Wincon. I think this hook is Wincon. I think Mathis went second stage.
Yes, he did. This is 4 hooks on 3 different survivors. And that is the decider. Team Mercy wins the grand finals. 2-0, winning the Dark Lord pick that they picked themselves. And then the Spirit pick of Eclipse. Really impressive play on both the killer and survivor side. And yeah, it may have looked like a bit of a throw, just throwing everybody at that one pallet save, but you just have to play it like that if you're playing for such a steep win con.
Exactly. If the Spirit wants to force a trade on that hook, then they're totally well within their right to, because knowingly if that person gets on the hook and is camped, then yeah, you're essentially faced with, you know, either a trade or a very, very risky unhook situation where you're potentially not even anywhere near the gates. Yeah. Oh, nice vault there from Mathis. Not quite reaching. Trying to play it safe right now, but Mathis pathing very, very nicely. Onto what me and him called the dead hard. That was really, really nice. Well played. Reading the swing very nicely. And yeah, this last chase onto Mathis. This is one more stage, of course, already won, but could still be a good result. Dead on pallet. Is anyone here to save? Eruption procs on the other gen, but I don't believe so. It's going to be a hook on the hill. Reset comes through, and yeah, no last gen to speak of, though.
Not just yet. We do see a bit of progress on the main generator. That is not being checked by Hope right now. Bit of a misread. But hey, they've already won. They can take it slow. They don't need the perfect game sense read right now. Probably just taking it a bit relaxed now, knowing that they've done well. Nice reverse pallet drop into a life, allowing Daimao to make the pallet. And now we're just trying to show off. Instead of dropping the safe pallet, we're trying to go for a bit of a pallet save here. Let's see if it works out. The last gen pops. And yeah, I don't know, just showing off some juking in the comp game. I respect it. Good play by the Eclipse survivors. But yeah, this is just... Oh?
Is that
you
a
can really
Ronaldo
hear the
here?
steps, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, he's not exactly the quietest survivor either. Oh, we're going into basement. Forcing locker maybe, whilst the rest of the team get out. That's probably the play.
Yeah.
But yeah, well played to Eclipse. They tried to, I mean, they had a very good start, and unfortunately, like, Hope playing the pallet patiently underneath that 2-story building. Survivors well within their right to go for it, knowing what it means. But yeah, with low win cons, you have to take risks, right? You had a good early start, and then you have to transition into risky plays when it doesn't go your way. So you're kind of in a lose-lose situation unless you have a perfect game. So, yeah. That's well played. I mean, it's still a good result. Mine's what, like 8 stages? Is that I count? But yeah, that's gonna be Mercy. It's gonna be Mercy taking it to her. So we'll play to them. Our Proving Grounds number 1 runners up now come back to take it.
Yeah, the consistency is amazing to see, and I feel like they've improved very, very much after the showing against Team Reassure 2 weeks ago. Of course, that game was played on a bit of ping, one could say. This was definitely a more even match when it comes to just netcode, and it's beautiful to see teams that have already played now conquering their opponents in the finals instead of runner-ups being our champions. Well played to Mercy, well played to Eclipse, well played to all of our teams today. It was an amazing watch. It was so much fun. And yeah, they can be really proud of themselves and are going to take home the prize money of $100. Euro? I'm sorry. I failed
$100.
it on
Yeah,
on
$100
the
the first
finish line.
prize. Yeah, so our tournaments are fast and frequent, so we don't have a prize pool. We have a first prize. What that means now for Mercy is they are not allowed to compete again for about 6 weeks. So they're banned for competing, and it's to stop players from hogging the lunch money, basically. But yeah, every team that came here today to play, or some of them, are welcome to come back for Proving Grounds number 3 every 2 weeks, and the next one I believe is going to be on the 1st of October. Signups will be out shortly, so if you have a team or if you know a team, sign up. It's 2-day tournament, very, very quick, and it's been a lot of fun. I don't think we'll have a bronze match next time because this is the second tournament in a row where they've just not played it. So I think that trying to offer up a consolation 3rd place for Pride didn't really work out. But yeah, as of next tournament, we're going to be moving to a best of 5 format for our grand finals, and we're just going to do semi-finals. So that should hopefully make it more streamlined, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But from us here at Tenax, it's goodbye. Thank you very much. Shout out to Emmy. She's a streamer on Twitch, Empire_Empire. That's 2 M's. If you want to check her out. I also stream, but I stream like once a month. So, wouldn't check me out because I'm never around. But yeah, really happy to be here and do the stream for you. Thank you to Alma for the producer and our referees who have put in a very long shift in the background, and to the players as well for putting together the sets, the builds, in basically record time as well, because this is a rolling schedule, and of course you have to do builds for these sets. So everyone involved, thank you very much. But yeah, from us here at Tenax, it's goodbye, and until the next stream in 2 weeks. So goodbye, guys.
Goodbye. Thank you so much for hanging out.